Good evening from Warren, Arkansas. We're 15 minutes away from action. This is Jeff Root. Along with me, Jack Bennington and Caleb Bird. It's going to be an outstanding evening of football. A rematch of the championship game from last year. Arkadelphia victorious, of course, the state champion last year. This year they'll have to earn their way into the third round with a big victory here at Warren. This is a tough place to win. Caleb, I tell you what, both of these teams are hot right now. Warren has lost only one game this year. They scored 60 points last week. Arkadelphia, one hot team coming in with 6 wins in a row.
Yeah, both teams are having a good season so far. Badgers started off slow, and they've come in hot the last 6 games. Only really played against one especially challenging team in those 6 games, though, against Bauxite in those 6 wins, and it's time for another challenge for Arkadelphia. This is going to be, possibly this is going to be the game of the week right now in the state of Arkansas. Arkadelphia, Warren, a rematch of the state championship last year, 2 really good football teams. It's going to be a bit of a different game than what we saw last year with Warren missing their star player, Traylon Burks. It's going to be a whole new team almost for Arkadelphia to play tonight.
A big rematch for those that played last year and for the fans, but we are talking about 2 different teams. Arkadelphia, 0-5 at the beginning of the year, now 6 wins in a row, Jack. A really nice string of wins for Arkadelphia, including impressive wins over Bauxite and in the first round of the playoffs last week. For Warren, they have 1 loss this season. That was a surprise, but they are playing without their star player in Traylon Burks, and so there's a little bit of an unknown to this game as well.
Yeah, for Arkadelphia, it was kind of a sense of sort of like a championship hangover there, losing the first 5 games of the season. The Badgers did, but like we said, bouncing back and now winning 6 in a row, completely different team from the start of the season, and then in Warren, a team that's just kind of been locked in all year. Like you said, only losing 1 game so far this season. And then Mercy ruling CAC last week. I think it's safe to say that both teams are coming into this game this week locked in and excited for a good game.
Jack, there's no doubt on the Arkadelphia side that the schedule got easier after that midway point of the season, but I also saw a lot of growth from those younger players. They learned a lot in those first 5 games, and it showed that they learned a lot because they played much better as time wore on. This is a team that has grown throughout the season.
Yeah, Arkadelphia, they caught a couple of bad breaks there in the first couple of games of the season, which didn't go our way, which led to some of those losses, but I think that it definitely helped the team more than it hurt the team. In terms of ability going through the season. So definitely that might not have at the time looked at as something good that was happening, but I think now we see that it definitely helped the team and it's put them in a good position for tonight.
When we come back, we'll set the stage as we are just 12 minutes away from kickoff here tonight in Warren, Arkadelphia, on the road in the playoffs. We'll be back with more on KDEL-FM 100.9 in Arkadelphia in 2 minutes. And for our live stream audience, we want to say thank you once again to our live stream sponsors who have helped us all year long right here in the playoffs as well. We didn't know how well our video live stream would work on the road. We knew the audio would work, but we have to carry more bandwidth on the road, and we weren't sure how it would work on the road. But right now it looks like we're getting a good picture from here in Warren, as we have been able to get from most of the places we've gone on the road this year. So if you have a problem with the live stream, we want to remind you, turn it off, turn it back on, and oftentimes that will take care of the problem. Right now, we're getting a good stream and everything looks good. A nice picture coming from upstairs as we are in a tall press box and have a great view of the field here in Warren. I want to say thank you again to our sponsors, Taylor King Law, Southwest Sporting Goods, Doctors Rob and Gary Rucker, Welch Funeral Home, Roger Wingfield of State Farm Insurance, Eddie Arnold of Jostens, and also Twin Rivers Health and Rehabilitation, Southern Bank Corps, Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler, Blake Bell of Edward Jones Investments, and Arnold, Batson, Turner, and Turner, our sponsors for this game and all year long here on the live stream. Also, I want to say thank you to Chris Babb, who's been able to make this live stream work beautifully. He's become an engineer in live streaming this year. We can do just a little bit of everything. We appreciate Chris, appreciate all of the folks who have worked and done our camera work this year. And we're looking forward to seeing that very good camera work again. Students from Ouachita Baptist University's Communications Department providing that for us. So it is a nice setting here, Jack. It is a turf field. We didn't see that the last time that we came to Warren. They have updated. We're in an older press box, but we get a great view of the field, and folks are going to see a great view on the live stream tonight.
Yeah, definitely completely different field conditions from when the last time Arkadelphia came to play at Warren just 5 years ago, but definitely a beautiful field. I mean, we definitely have a good view here in the press box of just the stadium in general, but the nice field, it definitely makes it a lot easier for the game tonight.
All right, we are just about ready for the national anthem, and so we will take a break and let you listen to our national anthem. And we'll take another 2-minute radio break. We'll be back with more in 2 minutes. Okay, we hope you heard the final strands there of the Arkadelphia alma mater. We are in a nice press box with a good view here, a little bit of a crowded open area, so you might hear a little bit of a couple of other broadcasts that are going on right next to us, but we're excited to bring you this game from the Arkadelphia point of view. Of course, trying to bring you our best broadcast every time, and so far we've got a good picture, so I hope you're enjoying, if you're watching the live stream, the picture from on high right above us, and we've got a good view view of the field. This is a good place to call a game, Caleb.
Yeah, it's a really nice view here. Lots of stadiums you go to, especially on the road, you're at a low vantage point. This might be our highest vantage point of the season. It's, I think, a bit higher than we have at Badger Stadium. And what I like the most about it is open windows on each side, so you can see the whole field from anywhere you are in the press box. So we have a real nice view of the game. You should get a real clear picture. And it's a beautiful night for football. It's cold weather earlier this week, but it's warmed up tonight in the 50s. And, it's a good night. It's not going to be too cold out there, not going to be too hot, and perfect conditions to play some football.
50 degrees right now. It's going to drop into the 40s during the game, but it's a clear night, and we're just thankful for that. There's been so much rain this year.
Yeah, it's a clear night. And all the rain and snow earlier this week's not on the field. Nice turf field here at Warren, so good conditions. And I don't think anything will come down to it tonight. No conditions will be an excuse tonight. It's going to be all down on the field. Whichever team plays the better football game.
We're going to take one more 2-minute break for radio. This is KDEL FM 100.9 in Arkadelphia. We'll be back in 2 minutes. And for the live stream, we are right back here with you now. Our sponsors tonight for the live stream, this game and all season long: Taylor King Law, Southwest Sporting Goods, Doctors Rob and Gary Rucker, Welch Funeral Home, Roger Wingfield, State Farm Insurance, Eddie Arnold with Jostens, and also Twin Rivers Health and Rehabilitation. Southern Bank Corps, Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler, Blake Bell of Edward Jones Investments, and Arnold, Batson, Turner, and Turner. Well, the captains are on the field. You see them if you're watching the live stream right now. And we're seeing a couple of sizable players lining up there for Warren. One of them is their biggest star, and he is not playing tonight. That is Traylon Burks, who had such a great game in the championship last year, the losing effort for Warren against Arkadelphia. But he is injured, unable to play tonight. But they do have Marcus Miller out there also at 6'5", 300 pounds. He is a Division I player.
Yeah, Miller's committed to University of Arkansas right now to play, and I think that's where this game could be won, is in the trenches tonight. Warren has a really formidable defensive line, as do the Badgers, but on the offensive side of the football, the lines haven't been as strong this year. The Badger offensive line's a bunch of young guys. All the seniors graduated last year, and they came back. At the beginning of the year, they struggled a bit, but they've really come along in the second half of the season. They've shut down some really good defensive linemen this year. At Robinson had an Arkansas commit, and Zach Williams didn't really do much against the Badgers on defense. And so the Badgers' offensive line is really going to have to put in that same kind of effort tonight against Warren and establish that ground game, which has been the Badger bread and butter all year long.
You see now, if you're watching the live stream, that Arkadelphia will move from our right to our left, but they will kick off to begin the game. So, Jack, the defense has to prove itself first tonight.
Yeah, definitely a huge part of this game. Obviously, this defense has been such a strong suit for the Badgers this year. Last week, having a shutout as well as the week before. So Badgers carrying 2 shutouts in a row going into this game. But this week, we're going against a different kind of competition in this Warren offense that we know has a lot of ability, has a lot of key players that are definitely going to do their best tonight. So definitely this first drive, this Badger defense is going to be huge to start this game.
The Warren Lumberjacks coming out onto the field. You hear their crowd just below us. We're on the home side, very large press box here. And so Warren has come onto the field. And on the opposite side, you see Arkadelphia coming onto the field now. And I'll tell you what, Arkadelphia has filled up the visitor stands.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of expected it at this point, especially with it being such a huge game, rematch of last year's state championship. But these Badger fans, they travel pretty much everywhere in the state that we could go. I'm sure if we traveled out of state, we'd see just as many fans at these kind of games. But these Badger fans are loyal again, and they're here because they want to see a Badger victory.
The Badgers have wrapped up marching season, but there's a large pep band here, and they're making a lot of noise already. We're hearing them directly across the stadium, and so it's a lively visitor stands for Arkadelphia and for Warren. Just a lot of orange over here. I don't know. Do the woods ever fill up with this much orange?
Yeah, a lot of orange, a lot of camo. I'm thinking that, I told Jack earlier, the Warren fans can not have to change before bed tonight, roll out of bed in the morning, and hit the duck blind for the opening day of duck season.
I think that might be what they are thinking about. Good crowd here for both teams, as you would expect. A rematch of the 2017 championship, which Arkadelphia, of course, won in a wild and woolly game. It's going to be an outstanding game tonight. Warren's anxious to play. They're already on the field, lined up for the kickoff. Arkadelphia milling around on the visitor side, just about ready to come out and kick this game off. And first out is Gabe Goodman. What a weapon he has been this year, Jack.
Yeah, definitely. Gabe Goodman has been such a huge part in this Badgers team this year. Really, we kind of knew coming into the season that he'd be an important player, but he's really expanded the special teams' ability to affect games, whether it be kickoffs, punts, field goals. He really does it all, and I'm sure we're going to see the same tonight from the senior.
So Arkadelphia getting set now to kick off, not giving away how they're going to line up the kickoff coverage team yet, but we do see Gabe Goodman teeing up the ball in a traditional fashion. Now they're going to have a conversation and call break, and we're just about underway. First quarter of action coming your way here momentarily. Arkadelphia and Warren. What a great matchup this is in only the second round of action in the playoffs. Arkadelphia, number 3 seed and a big winner last week, and Warren, a number 1 seed and a big winner last week. Here's a line drive into the end zone. That is in and out of the end zone. Perfect kickoff.
Yeah, nice kickoff for Arkadelphia, and that's going to drop Warren at the 20-yard line and start their first drive, and that's big. Arkadelphia had some issues on special teams last week, some kind of uncharacteristic issues. All year long, Arkadelphia has been near perfect on special teams, and last week had a few times they dropped the ball on kickoffs, a few times they missed their assignments on kick coverage. But this time out, Arkadelphia starting the game strong, and now this defense is going to have to come out here, put in a good effort against a really athletic and really talented Warren offense.
In the shotgun is Jamalachi Kennard, and next to him is Vincent Steps. And Steps will get the first carry to the right side. He's hit in the backfield, will struggle forward and get a couple of yards. That's a good run by the young man, but very good defensive work.
Yeah, we saw a lot of Steps last year in the state championship game really show out, and we kind of expect this year they do exactly the same, and that time it was only a pick up a couple yards.
So from the 22-yard line, second down, 8 yards to go. Demontre McKnight is in the familiar number 7 uniform tonight. Here is a run right up the middle, and that's going to be a gain up near the 25-yard line, but it will be third down and just about 5 to go in this important first series for Warren.
Yeah, and it would be interesting to see for us to see how Arkadelphia lined up in the secondary tonight. They haven't really played a team that has the ability to pass the ball in a few weeks, but tonight they're bringing some players back from the offensive side of the ball back to defense. Cannon Turner starting the game at safety, and KJ Terry starting the game at cornerback. So some familiar faces and some strong players coming in the secondary tonight.
Third down, 5 yards to go. Jamalachi, the quarterback, is going to keep it. He runs to the right side. Arkadelphia covers it well, and he gets nothing. This is a punting situation. Good defense on the first series for the Badgers.
Yeah, excellent stop by Arkadelphia there on the first series. Only 5 yards of offense now, and Warren's going to be forced to punt the football. That's exactly how you want to start the game for Arkadelphia. Choose to kick the football off, and that means your defense needs to stop on the first series. They set the tempo, and now it's up to this Arkadelphia punt coverage team to catch this football and give Arkadelphia some good field position to start the game on offense.
They did give him a gain of 2. I thought he got nothing. So on fourth down and 3, it will be a punt. The punt is end over end, very high, but also very short. It will bounce at the 50, roll to the 45, to the Arkadelphia 42-yard line. Jack, that's good field position for the offense's first possession.
Yeah, that's pretty much the best defensive possession that you get to start the game for the Badgers, and getting a 3 and out. Now the Badgers will start pretty close to midfield at the 42-yard line. Really couldn't ask for anything much better, and that just gives so much of a confidence boost for the offense to come out on their first drive in pole position to score.
Arkadelphia sends its offense onto the field. First down and 10 Badgers. First possession of the game for the offense at their own 42-yard line. The Badgers line up offensively. The defense did its job, 3 and out on the first possession for the Warren Lumberjacks. Shotgun formation as usual. Cannon Turner at quarterback hands it to Hatley. Hatley hit, but will fall forward for 2, maybe 3 yards. Well, let's say more like 1, as they're going to mark it closer to the 43.
Yeah, it's going to be crucial for Arkadelphia to establish this run game early. Warren has a really good defensive line, and it's going to take this offensive line from Arkadelphia, putting in a good effort and blocking an almost perfect game to get some running yards going.
2 receivers to the right side, 2 to the left side. Nobody in the backfield with Turner, and he wants to run. He's got some room to the 45-50, to the 45-40, and he will go down at the 37-yard line of Warren.
And that's one way to do it right there. Spread the team out 5 wide and when you have a runner like Cannon Turner at quarterback, that quarterback draw is lethal. That's 5-on-4 on the offensive line, no linebackers in the box, and Turner just split the defense for a nice gain. So really nice run there by Cannon Turner, and it's a good play call to get Turner in that kind of space.
First down and 10, Arkadelphia, 37-yard line of Warren. Running play to the right side. Turner will keep it. He'll turn up the field and get yardage 5, maybe 6 yards.
Yeah, that time was just able to run out to the right side. Good blocking from the receivers like we've seen so many times this year, and good blocking from the running back there on the play. And Cannon Turner was able to just get out to the outside and get a couple extra yards because of that good blocking, and then I'll make it about 2nd and 5.
They're going to mark it at the 33-yard line, so we'll say it was a gain of 4, but it looks like about 4.5. We'll say 2nd down and 5. They're going to run the ball. Here's Hatley. He's got good room. To the 25, to the 20, breaks the tackle, to the 10. He's down to the 7-yard line.
Yeah, that's a nice run from Zion Hatley, and I wasn't sure if we were going to see too many good runs from Hatley today. I remember last year's games that Hatley couldn't really get much going, and it was a lot of Cannon Turner on the ground, but that's a good run to start the game off, and Hatley found some good space and perfect blocking by the offensive line, by the receivers to create that space for Hatley and let him get downfield and use his speed.
Ball spotted at the 6-yard line. It's first down and goal, Arkadelphia. First possession for the Badgers. We're just under 9 minutes to play in the first quarter. In the shotgun, Cannon Turner. He hands it off. Here's Hatley. Cuts it upfield inside the 5, inside the 2. He's near the goal line. It is a touchdown, Arkadelphia.
And what a run there from Zion Hatley, just following his blockers. It looked like he was going to be stopped at the goal line. We see the replay here. Cannon Turner hands the ball off to Hatley, just follows that blocking from the tackle on the play, and just dives into the end zone and is able to pick up the first touchdown of the game for the Badgers.
That was a perfect power play there. The left guard pulling on the play and making a perfect block in the hole, creating the space for Hatley to sneak past that middle linebacker and get in the end zone. Really nice blocking. This offensive line has proven something in the first drive of this game.
Goodman set for the extra point attempt. The kick is up, and the kick is perfect. It's Arkadelphia 7, Warren nothing. 8:50 left. First quarter just getting underway, and Arkadelphia has drawn first blood tonight. 7-0 Arkadelphia. Will be back with more Badger football in 30 seconds. And here on the live stream, we are right back with you to tell you the game couldn't have started any better for Arkadelphia.
Yeah, that was a perfect start to the game for the Badgers. First on defense, getting the 3 and out, forcing a punt, and then on offense, establishing the run game. You know, that's something that's crucial to this Badger team, and the run game is a really big deal to them. Last year, they weren't able to run the ball against Warren, were forced to throw the ball more than they were to run, and this year they're proving on the first drive this offensive line is for real, and they can run the football.
Arkadelphia is set to kick off. Gabe Goodman put it in the end zone on his first kickoff of the evening, and I mean in the corner of the end zone, perfectly placed. And now he's set to kick off again. Each team has had one possession. Warren ran 3 plays and punted. Arkadelphia got a touchdown drive out of it of 58 yards. High kickoff, long, and into the end zone about 3 yards deep, no return possible.
And that kind of play, that just changes the game. I mean, it doesn't matter if Warren's only able to return the ball up to the 25. Still, just the idea that he's able to kick in the end zone, Warren doesn't even get a chance to return the ball, it's just really demoralizing to a team. And Gabe Goodman has done that so many times, and he's done that twice here to start this game tonight.
A team as athletic as Warren wants to return every kickoff it can, and they've had no opportunity tonight on 2 kickoffs. But first down and 10 for Warren. We'll see if the Lumberjacks will fight back. This is a team with only 1 defeat on the season. This is an outstanding football team, ranked number 1 most of the year. Running play up the middle. There's a good stop by the linebackers, and they're going to stop him with a gain of only a couple. Caleb, good work so far by the linemen and linebackers of Arkadelphia.
Yeah, this front 7, front 8 from Arkadelphia is highly underrated. They play very well each week. Ricky Rogers Jr., Jason Cam on the D-line, Wallace, Harrison, Turner at linebacker. This defensive front 7 unit is spectacular at stopping the run, and they're proving it so far in this game.
2 receivers to the right side, 2 to the left. He wants to pass. First pass tonight. Now he's going to scramble, looking for a place to go. He's going to be sacked back at the 20-yard line. Wonderful job by Ricky Rogers Jr.
And the pursuit on that play from the junior defensive end, just going and getting around the tackle and then just grabbing a hold of the quarterback, Kennard, and then just not letting go. Kennard eventually goes down for the sack on the play. Great first 2 plays on this defensive drive for the Badgers.
Third down, 10 yards to go for the Lumberjacks. McKnight, a very good receiver, split wide to the left side. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Back to pass. He will throw it, and he'll throw it deep. He's looking for the deep pattern, and it's not close to a completion, defended by Cannon Turner.
Yeah, that pass was far overthrown there by Kennard. He just let it fly, and it far over the head of the receiver, far over the head of Cannon Turner, and no chance there. 4th and 10. Warren's going to be forced to punt on their second drive of the game.
Warren does not have a first down in its first 2 possessions. 7:41 left. We're in the first quarter. Arkadelphia about to get the ball back, leading 7-0. Deep is for Arkadelphia. High kick. We'll bring it to you in a moment. Fair catch is called for. Fair catch is made at the 48-yard line. And Carlos Haney with the play.
And great field position once again for the Badgers to start this second drive. First time starting at their own 42, this time starting on Warren's 48-yard line. So the Badgers getting the ball in great field position once again, and in a great spot for the Badgers to possibly get a couple more points on the board.
Really important to catch that punt, as Haney did, so it could not take a Warren bounce. So the short kick gives great field position to Arkadelphia, as Jack said, at the 47-yard line of Warren. They had a 58-yard touchdown drive on their first possession, and the Badgers line up to begin their second possession. In motion comes Buster Thomas, and there's movement on the line. So now they're going to back it up to the other side of the 50 with a 5-yarder against Arkadelphia.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Arkadelphia. Offensive line, you can't be making those mistakes, putting yourself behind the chains, especially when you're trying to run the ball like you are tonight. Being behind the chains really hurts this team.
So Arkadelphia has 1st and 15, first penalty tonight against the Badgers. Cannon Turner at quarterback. Hatley is his running back. Buster Thomas is on the left side. Rubel on the right side. And they're going to line up. Arkadelphia at 1st and 15 will run it. Here's Hatley. He's coming to the side, cuts it up the field, breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, but they're going to gang tackle him. Forward progress should put him at the 46-yard line, and it will. So that's a gain. He got back the yardage lost on the penalty, plus 1 more.
Yeah, he was able to get the yards back on that play, and it's interesting to see the Badgers' offensive line. Every time they snap the ball, they double team the big 6'5" defensive tackle for Warren, Marcus Millers. We see him shift to the other side this time. So definitely the Badgers are keying in on him on every play.
2nd down, 9 yards to go. Running play. Hatley again. He's got some room on the outside. He's got 3. Now they're going to hem him in. He'll fight back but be driven down. Forward progress will put him across the 45. He should be near the 43. Let's see where the spot is going to be. I think they will say the 43-yard line. So from there, Arkadelphia still needs some yardage. They need 6 more for a first down. 3rd down and 6. Big, big play for Arkadelphia, although they might be in 4-down territory here at the 43-yard line of Warren. 6:22 left, clock running. Arkadelphia 7, Warren 0.
Yeah, it's a big play right here, and Arkadelphia is going to load up the box. Rubel, Witten, and Hatley all within the tackle box.
It is a pass play. Here's Turner. He's looking downfield. Now he's going to run. He's got a little bit of room, but not enough for a first down. He makes it across the 40. It's going to be 4th down, and they're going to lack still about 2, but I would be surprised, Caleb, if they don't decide to go for it. Let's see.
Yeah, I could see one play being run here at the beginning for sure. The Badgers are going to send someone in motion. Cannon Turner is going to be at quarterback. He's going to call a fake snap, and then he's going to look at the sideline and see what to do. I guarantee you that's what's going to happen here first off for Arkadelphia. That's what they've done just about every single game in this position.
He certainly can pooch kick, but they might go for it. They are going to go for it. Here is a run by Hatley. He is going to make a first down. They'll spot it. Now, they drove him back, but they'll spot it up to the 36-yard line, and that's enough. That's a first down, Arkadelphia.
Well, Coach Eldridge fooled me up here in the box, and I think he might have fooled the Warren coaches as well. Like I said, every time the past 6 games, Arkadelphia's been in that situation. They've sent Buster Thomas in motion, called a hard count, tried to draw the defense offside, and then decided to pooch kick it. That time, didn't go for the hard count, and offensive line got a good push. I think the Warren defensive line was expecting hard count there and didn't jump on the snap.
Maybe just setting it up for this game, perhaps. But it's a first down, Arkadelphia, 36-yard line. Arkadelphia in motion again. Another false start, 1st and 15. Jack, it's a big game. You're a little excited. A couple of times somebody jumped a little too soon.
Yeah, and especially with the intimidating defensive line of Warren, a lot bigger the defensive lines that we've seen in the past, especially with the big man of Marcus Miller there. So that's the second time tonight I think we've seen a false start from the Badgers. So they're going to need to get the little jitters out of the way to be able to prevent those little mistakes there.
So Arkadelphia is back to the 41-yard line of Warren, but it's still first down, 1st and 15, and the clock is running. We're under 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Arkadelphia 7, Warren 0. Here's a pitch to the right side. Hadley looking for room, and his legs are taken out from under him at the 39-yard line. That's a good tackle by the starting quarterback.
Yeah, Kennard coming in from the safety position and making a good tackle right around the line of scrimmage, and he really flew in on that play and read it well. So unfortunate there for Arkadelphia not to put a body on him and not be able to get more yardage on that play. Kind of situation here, 2nd and long. You might see Arkadelphia decide to go to the air once again.
2nd down, 13 yards to go for the Badgers. Hadley to the right of his quarterback, Cannon Turner. He will fake it to Hadley and throw across the middle. He is looking for, I believe, Rubel, but incomplete, overthrown.
Yeah, about 3 Badgers in the middle of the field there, guarded by 3 Warren secondary guys, and just threw it over all of their heads. So not a great ball there from Turner, but if it was on target, I'm not sure if it would have been caught. There's a lot of traffic there in the middle of the field. That play action kind of play has been run a lot by the Badgers this year, and successfully sometimes and unsuccessfully other times. That time, one of those unsuccessful attempts.
Victor Tatamy is in the game. He's split wide to the left side. Might he be the target on 3rd down and 13? We'll see. Alone in the backfield is the quarterback, Cannon Turner. 5 receivers lined up. Back to pass. He'll fire it. He is looking to an open receiver. That's Rubel to the 25, to the 20. First down, Arkadelphia.
And this passing game is going to be huge tonight for the Badgers if they want success. Warren able to stop the run on that series, and Arkadelphia went to the air and had an open guy. The passing game was huge for Arkadelphia last year against Warren. Cannon Turner had 240-plus yards against the Lumberjacks, and he's going to have to put in a similar effort tonight. He's going to have to probably play his best game of the season at quarterback, throwing the football, if the Badgers want a victory over Warren tonight.
That was a big conversion on 3rd and 13 from the 19-yard line now. On 1st down, they're going to hand it to Hadley. Hadley escapes one tackler. He's to the 16, 15, makes another cut to the 10. Good run by Hadley all the way to the 7-yard line.
And that is, like, the senior running back there really has been a huge part of this team for the past 3 years. That is the experience that he has right there. Patient running, just following his blockers, not going up the middle, not just trying to get as many yards as he can, but knowing that following his blockers, he can get a couple more yards by doing so. And that time he's able to get inside the 10-yard line and set up the Badgers for another position to score.
From the 7-yard line, it's 1st down and goal. Hadley has checked out for a play or so, and it looks like they're waiting for a new back to check in. Now they're going to go with just receivers lining up and a tight end. Here comes Rubel in motion to the right side. He'll set up as a blocker, and it's a quarterback draw. Turner goes inside the 5, struggling for more yardage. They're going to push him all the way down to the 2-yard line. What a good run. He's close to the 1.
Yeah, nice job there. And Arkadelphia put in some extra receivers, trying to spread Warren out here inside the 10-yard line and then use that power of Cannon Turner. Turner's probably their most powerful runner on the Badger team to go up the middle and try and get some power yards here inside the 10. They're going to go for it once again here. Turner alone in the backfield, 2nd and goal.
Ball between the 1 and 2-yard line. On 2nd and goal, running play. Turner cuts upfield. He walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Arkadelphia.
And Cannon Turner that time, really, that was probably the easiest touchdown he's might have of the season. Really, no one falling. You see, we hear the instant replay again. Alec Rubel coming to the right side to help block. And really, there's just no one that's able to touch him. Cannon Turner is just too fast on the play. Staten Whitten doing a great job of blocking. And Cannon Turner's able to get a touchdown.
And the Badgers running the sweep play there away from Miller. Miller was on the other side of the field, had no effect on that play whatsoever.
Goodman in for the extra point. Snap is good. The kick is up. The kick is, as always, perfect from Mr. Goodman. But let's see. We do have whistles on the field. Is it going to hold us up? No, I don't think so. It is going to be a penalty, offsides, I think, against Warren, perhaps. Everybody has left the field, so I think this extra point's going to count, but the officials are having a conversation, so we'll keep it right here a little bit longer. It looks like it's about to be 14-0. Let's see. In fact, they do decline it. It is 14-0. A little bit of a long discussion between the officials. That's okay. They got it right. It is good. And so it is 14-0 Arkadelphia, 2:38 left in the first quarter. We'll be back in 30 seconds. And right here on the live stream, we're back with you now to see Gabe Goodman teeing up for another kickoff. He's been perfect 2 kickoffs into the end zone so far tonight.
Yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say that Gabe Goodman has been good as gold so far this year. I'm really just providing a spark to this team that's unlike any other. Definitely unique in all special ways, with it being on special teams. And tonight so far, he has done an outstanding job for the special teams.
Gabe Goodman tees it up at the 40-yard line. Back with you on KDEL, FM 100.9 in Arkadelphia. For the radio audience, for the live stream, it's good news for Arkadelphia fans. Badgers 14, Lumberjacks 0, 2:38 left. We are in the first quarter. Here is Gabe Goodman's kickoff. The left footer sends it high, sends it deep, and it will come down at the goal line, and that will not be returnable because he had a foot in the end zone. So 3 touchbacks in a row.
I mean, really, that's unlike any other in high school. For a Arkansas high school football, you don't really see that a lot from kickers. But Gabe Goodman, unlike any other tonight, doing an outstanding job. We've seen so many times this season. Just a really standout player for the Badgers.
You cannot return a kickoff out of the end zone in high school football, and that time he was straddling the goal line, so it's a touchback. And Arkadelphia 3 consecutive times now, every possession for Warren has started at the 20-yard line. Kennard in the backfield as the quarterback looks to the sideline to get the play. Steps is his running back. He's a very good one. 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Running play and a big hit immediately and no gain at all. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, stuffed there by Jason Campbell. He just stood up his offensive lineman, his blocker, threw him off and just bear tackled Steps at the line of scrimmage. An excellent play by Jason Campbell. The junior defensive lineman is, he's been the best defensive lineman in this game tonight. Campbell and Rogers for Arkadelphia. They've really outperformed Miller.
No gain on first down, 2nd and 10 for Warren. And they're going to pass it. Here's a throw to the flat. That's complete to the 25, 27, up to the 29-yard line. On the catch was Braden Curry, and it does create a 3rd down and short. This is the best opportunity Warren has had so far tonight to pick up a first down. They have been stuffed with no first downs on their first 2 possessions. Now they're just 1 yard away. 1:46 left clock running. We're in the first quarter. Arkadelphia 14, Warren 0.
Yeah, Warren put Miller in now at tight end to block on the right side, and I'm assuming they're going to run a power play to the right side now.
The quarterback will hand it off. They're going to dodge around and dance, and there's a broken tackle and a first down. A nice run out to the 39-yard line. First down for Warren, and for the first time tonight, we hear the Warren fans responding in front of us.
Yeah, like I said, they put the big guy, number 90, the tight end, Miller, 6'5", 300 pounds, at tight end on the right side, and Warren decided to run a power play right behind him. He's in tight end once again. I wonder if we'll see another power play to the right side.
Yeah, they're tired of not making yardage on their runs, so they put their big guy in at tackle, and he wants to have a little play-action pass. Now Kennard's going to run. He's got yardage up to the 40. Big hit, though, by Harrison to bring him down at the 44-yard line.
And, man, what a huge stuff there from Harrison. It looked like Kennard was going to be able to get the edge on the Badgers and pick up the first down, but Kai Harrison, like the hawk he is, just chased him down, was able to get a huge tackle on the quarterback to bring him down.
Pickup of 5. Warren, sensing some emotion with the offense now, will line up 2 wide to the left side, 2 short side to the right. He will pass. This is Steps. He is hit immediately and driven down, but he will pick up 2, so 3rd down coming. They need 3 more.
Yeah, Harrison once again on the stop on that play. Alongside him, Josh Wallace, and the 2 linebackers having a really nice game tonight. But Harrison especially, he's flying to the football, showing he's one of the best linebackers in the state.
Make that 3rd down and 2. Ball spotted at the 47-yard line. They've got to get to the 49, still on their own side of the field. Here's a pass. Throw into the flat, incomplete. Gosh, unexpected. A throw to the flat on 3rd down and 2, and it's 4th and 2. Warren at their own 47-yard line.
Yeah, nothing going for him there, but this is the first time Warren's had motion on offense. I expect him to go for it right here, at least try and drum off sides with a hard count on 4th and short. And
on 4th down, they're going to line up. 2 on the right side, 2 on the left. Arkadelphia is showing some pressure from its linebackers. Cole Turner stepped up. Now they'll change the formation and send Steps to the left of the quarterback, and they're going to keep it, and the quarterback will get nothing. Nothing. They went for it on 4th down and did not make it.
Perfect play there from the Badgers, and that was 3 defensive linemen on the tackles. I believe that was Sumler there. The first guy making the hit, and alongside him Campbell, Rogers, and Kyron Harrison in the backfield. Those 4 players flew to the football, brought steps down behind the line of scrimmage. A perfect play from Arkadelphia, and this defense is playing with their pants on fire tonight, flying to the football, gang tackling, an amazing performance from the Badger defense so far in the first quarter.
Arkadelphia with great field position once again for its offense. The Badgers have scored on a 58-yard drive and a 48-yard drive, and now they're going to line up at the 45-yard line after a loss on 4th down for Warren. So the Badgers have only 45 yards to cover. Can they do it? Here is a running play, and they're going to catch up with Hatley in the backfield this time, and he'll lose 1, maybe 2.
Yeah, I think that time Warren was able to read that play really well. Badgers putting so many guys on the line, sending Hatley in motion from the left to the right side. Kenan Turner electing to give the ball to Hatley, and Warren was just able to chase him down before he was able to get any positive yards on the play, losing 1 on that first down play.
That was the last play of the first quarter, so when we come back, we'll have second quarter action. You'll be back with more Badger football in 30 seconds. On this radio break, we are glad to tell you that our live stream sponsors tonight and always, Taylor King Law, Southwest Sporting Goods, Doctors Rob and Gary Rucker, Welch Funeral Home, Roger Wingfield of State Farm Insurance, Eddie Arnold of Jostens, and also Twin Rivers Health and Rehabilitation, Southern Bank Corps, Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler, Blake Bell of Edward Jones Investments, and Arnold, Batson, Turner, and Turner, our sponsors tonight and as always on the live stream broadcast for you. Well, the first quarter very successful for Arkadelphia. The Badgers lead at 14-0. Now second quarter action. Arkadelphia has the football. 2nd down and 11 after a loss of 1 on the last play of the third quarter. The Badgers will line up, move from our left to our right. Arkadelphia looking very, very strong in the first quarter. We'll see if they can keep it up in the second. Turner in the backfield by himself. Now Hatley comes in motion. He will fake it to Hatley and pass the ball. There's an open receiver. It's caught by Thomas up to the 25, to the 20. Spins out of a tackle to the 15, to the 10. He's all the way to the 9-yard line.
Really nice play there. It's the play action once again. Play action, vertical pass over the middle. Arkadelphia runs that play time and time again, and that time Warren bit. Arkadelphia's running game has gone so well tonight. Warren, focusing on that run, and that left some space across the middle. And Buster Thomas, such a dynamic athlete he is, spins out of a tackle and gets some extra yardage after the catch. And Arkadelphia, once again, believe they're going to be in a first-and-goal situation.
They are going to put it at the 9, 1st down and goal. 11:50 left before halftime. Arkadelphia already has a 14-0 lead, trying to make it a 3-touchdown lead on their 3rd possession of the night. Arkadelphia will send 3 receivers to the short side of the field, the right side, and Whitten at tight end also on that side. Now they'll send Rubel in motion from the 9-yard line on 1st down and goal. They're going to run to the left. Turner looking for space. He's got to go around a defender, and he can't get there. A loss back to the 10-yard line.
It's a really interesting play call there from Arkadelphia. They're choosing to just isolate Miller on the left side. Miller, he's 6'5", 300 pounds. He's a huge player. You're not going to run through him, but you can run around him pretty easily. He's not too quick on the defensive line, and that time Arkadelphia just choosing not to block him and trying to run around him. Miller able to run just fast enough to force Hatley out to the outside and let some of those linebackers, a bit quicker players for Warren, catch up with Turner and bring him down before he's able to get any yardage.
2nd down goal. Now the ball is at the 10-yard line. In motion comes Thomas. They are going to hand it to him. This is Buster Thomas looking for a hole. He's to the 8, to the 5, knocked out of bounds just inside the 5-yard line.
Once again, Arkadelphia decided not to block Miller. They're running the read option on Miller, and they're making their read on him, just kind of taking him out of the play there when they choose to run the read option on him. So you're deciding whether or not you're going to run the ball to the outside or the inside, depending on where Miller goes. So if Miller goes inside, they hand the ball off to the outside. If he stays outside, they're going to run the ball on the inside. So smart play call there from Arkadelphia, kind of negating his presence on the defensive line.
Gain of 6 by going outside. Now it's 3rd down and goal from the 4-yard line. Rubel to the right side, and now he'll stop behind the right tackle. Here's a quarterback draw. Looking for yardage is Turner. Nice spin move, but he cannot make it past the 3. I think they'll give him the 3-yard line. He might be at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 4th down. Arkadelphia will have to decide, and I believe they have made the decision already, to go for the field goal. Gabe Goodman coming onto the field. Ball's at the 3, so it's going to be essentially an extra point, but not from the middle of the field, just off center to the left. He's a left-footed kicker, of course. Outstanding kicker, outstanding punter. 2 for 2 on extra points so far tonight. We'll see if he'll make this field goal from 20 yards out. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Arkadelphia 17, Warren 0, 10:02 left here in this second quarter. We'll be back in 30 seconds. And on the live stream, we are right back with you now to tell you once again our sponsors for the live stream tonight and all season long. Taylor King Law, Southwest Sporting Goods, Doctors Rob and Gary Rucker, Welch Funeral Home, Roger Wingfield State Farm Insurance, Eddie Arnold of Jostens, and also Twin Rivers Health and Rehabilitation, Southern Bank Corps, Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler, Blake Bell of Edward Jones Investments, and Arnold, Batson, Turner, and Turner. So Arkadelphia has had the ball 3 times, Jack, scored 3 times, the last time a field goal, so it's 17-0.
Yeah, what's really so important here is the Badgers were able to get those, is able to score on the first 3 possessions on offense. Absolutely outstanding compared to what happened last year in the state championship game against Warren. But this offense had just come out firing so hard. And this defense as well has just done such an amazing job, and we'll see if they get another chance to do so here.
Arkadelphia will kick off to Warren. The Lumberjacks have started each of their possessions at the 20-yard line because of 3 touchbacks by Goodman. Going to kick in the opposite direction. Not a lot of wind, though. It's a high, long kickoff. It is going to bounce at the goal line and go through the back of the end zone. Once again, Warren will start at the 20-yard line. Another touchback.
Yeah, another touchback for Goodman. That's his 4th of the game, and Arkadelphia has been perfect on special teams tonight. 4 touchbacks, 2 extra points made, a field goal from Goodman, and he has been one of the key players for Arkadelphia, pinning Warren deep here on offense. Last time out, they had a 25-play drive, and Arkadelphia is still able to take over on the Warren side of the field. So really nice job by Goodman putting Warren in these disadvantaged situations on offense.
First down and 10 for the Lumberjacks. Kennard wants to pass. He fires across the middle. It is incomplete, in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. They've tried running. They've tried passing. They've made a few first downs, but they've not crossed the 50-yard line against Arkadelphia yet.
And you can see the frustration from Warren on that play as the receiver drops the ball and then just kind of slams his arms down on the ground in frustration. The ball was the ball thrown by Kennard was a little bit behind the intended receiver, but still probably should have made that catch, and as a result, it'll be 2nd and 10.
High-scoring offense all year long for Warren. They scored 60 in the first round of the playoffs just last week. Back to pass. Kennard looking short, now throwing long, and he overthrows his intended receiver, McKnight. McKnight's a very dangerous receiver, but could not possibly catch it and stay in bounds.
Yeah, and that was a tough throw for Kennard to try and throw it over the shoulder of McKnight. If it had been on target, it would have really been an amazing throw because McKnight was in double coverage against Carlos Haney, Victor Tadamy, 2 of the best secondary players in 4A. Kennard went for it, just threw it out of bounds, and threw it in a place where really no one on the field could catch it. No, not the Arkadelphia defenders, and neither could his receiver, McKnight, on that play.
3rd down, 10 yards to go. Kennard back to pass, will throw the ball into the flat. Now here is his running back Steps, who is hit by Tadamy and 3 other Badgers. They drive him out of bounds. He's not close to a first down, guys. It's going to be 4th down and between 4 and 5 yards to go.
And for Warren's sake, you hate to have to say this for him, but it looks like they're probably going to have to punt again as we see the punting team come out once again. Now the 4th time, once again they have to punt for the 4th time, in the ball game. So definitely not the kind of start that Warren wants to see on offense for this game.
So Warren will punt the ball away, and their previous punts have been short. 2 receivers back for Arkadelphia, Harrison and Carlos Haney. And timeout has been called by the Lumberjacks. We'll take a break also. 9 minutes, 43 seconds left in the second quarter. Arkadelphia 17, Warren 0. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Our sponsors once again on the live stream all year long, including this playoff game. Arnold, Batson, Turner, and Turner. Blake Bell of Edward Jones Investments. Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler. Southern Bank Corps, Eddie Arnold of Jostens and Twin Rivers Health and Rehabilitation. Roger Wingfield of State Farm Insurance, Welch Funeral Home. Doctors Rob and Gary Rucker, Southwest Sporting Goods, and Taylor King Law. Arkadelphia off to a great start, looking to continue to play well, avoid mistakes. They've got 2 men deep to try to keep this ball from bouncing, as they have seen some short end-over-end kicks. The last one was fair caught, made for a short field. We'll see what will happen on this punt. 4th down and 5. The kick is away. It again is high, a little longer this time. It will be allowed to bounce at the 38, and it is down at the 34-yard line. He probably should have let that go, Jack, but it is a better kick this time, and Arkadelphia's got a little bit more territory to cover.
Yeah, and still Badgers have great field position to start their drive. The first 2 times we're able to start at about midfield. This time it looks to be about the 34-yard line, but still great field position. Defense did an outstanding job once again, and they're able to send the offense back out on the field.
Arkadelphia, Caleb, is 3 for 3 in the red zone tonight against the number 1 team for most of the season in Warren.
Yeah, this is like we've said it multiple times tonight, but this is a different Warren team without Traylon Burks. Last year, Burks playing that middle linebacker spot. Arkadelphia couldn't run the ball against him. Burks just trailed Hatley and Turner from the backfield and made tackles play in, play out. This time, they're without that big linebacker presence, and it's showing.
From the 33-yard line, Turner wants to pass. He'll throw it into the flat. A little bit of room for Hatley up to the 35, to the 40, to the 41-yard line. A good play for Arkadelphia on first down.
Yeah, nice job by the Badgers to get outside the tackles and get Hatley in some space. He made a guy miss. I think it was McKnight. He made miss in the backfield. He was able to pick up the gain thanks to that nice juke move in open space. So Hatley with a little bit of shiftiness there, picks up 8 yards. Really nice play on first down for the Badgers.
2nd down, 2 yards to go for Arkadelphia. Badgers line up offensively, look to the sideline for the play. Once again, they send their receivers to the short side of the field, leave a lot of space on the wide side. In motion comes Thomas, and back to pass, Turner. Scrambling to his right, looking downfield. He will fire the ball to the sideline and out of play. Got it plenty far downfield, running out of the pocket. Nobody open. He made a wise decision to throw the ball away. It's 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, Marcus Miller did an outstanding job of pressuring the quarterback, Cannon Turner, on the play, just driving his man back, and that forced Turner to step out of the pocket, roll to the right side, realize he didn't have any options, all of which were very far downfield for him to have any chance of making a throw, so he decides to just throw it out of bounds and make it 3rd down.
Wise decision to just let 3rd down come. They only need 2 yards, and they're going to run to try to get it. Here's Hatley. He's got a first down and more to the 45, 50, 45-yard line. They'll bring him down inside the 40-yard line of Warren.
And boom goes the dynamite once again. Zion Hatley just doing an outstanding job tonight. Really, when he gets into open space, he just really, his acceleration on that play especially, did an outstanding job. Is able to pick up the first down.
Arkadelphia quickly to the line of scrimmage. They're going to run the play again. Here's Hatley. He bounces inside to the 35, to the 31-yard line. A good run by Hatley.
Yeah, Arkadelphia running a lot of no huddle and a really quick offense tonight. Warren plays a lot of guys both ways. All their star players are playing on offense and defense. McKnight, Kennard, a lot of those really talented skill guys playing both ways. Arkadelphia trying to play fast on offense and wear them down.
2nd down between 2 and 3. They're going to run to the left. Hatley this time will have a knee go down just before he gets back to the 30. So no gain on 2nd. It's 3rd down now for the Badgers. Hatley already has 84 yards on the night on 11 carries.
Yeah, it's been a really good night for Zon Hatley, and that's not something I would have predicted coming into this game, that Arkadelphia would be able to run the ball very well against this Warren front 7.
Kai Harrison in at running back, but it's a pass. A throw downfield incomplete at the 10-yard line, and that time Turner was under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I tell you what, that time there were some open guys downfield. Rubel was in some space, but Turner just didn't have enough time to pass. Warren's defensive line didn't bite on the play action. I think it was an RPO on that play, actually, and Turner had to make the decision to throw the ball there and didn't really have a kind of time to make that pass to Rubel. Even though he was open, didn't really have enough time to find him.
It would be almost a 50-yard field goal, so they're going to go for it. On 4th down, here comes Harrison. Harrison inside the 30. Harrison has a first down near the 25-yard line.
Man, what a run by Harrison there, just knowing how many yards he needed to get, and he saw that the first down marker was close, so he just dove for it, diving under the Warren defenders on the play, and was able to pick up the first down. Really great IQ there from the running back, Kai Harrison.
They do mark a knee down at the 27-yard line, but it's still enough for a first down and 10. Arkadelphia, they converted on 4th down with a running play from Harrison, the linebacker turned running back. He's in for Hatley to give him a breather for a moment, and they're going to hand it back to Harrison. He'll bounce it to the outside, now cut upfield, and he's got a bit of a gain over the 25 to the 24, maybe the 23-yard line. That guy's hard to tackle.
Yeah, Harrison is a really shifty back, and tell you what, he makes one cut and then he explodes upfield. And Warren's did a nice job keeping him from having too much space after that one cut. But Harrison usually does find that hole with that one cut. He kind of stands in the backfield. He has really nice vision, finds that hole, and then he hits it hard. 2nd
down, 7 yards to go. They're going to run the sprint out wide. This is Thomas. He's inside the 20, breaks the tackle at the 15, to the 10, to the 5. That is a touchdown, Arkadelphia.
Great play there from Buster Thomas on the sideline to break the tackle. Just runs over a Warren defender. He's down at the 15-yard line right where, I think it's McKnight. Right there you see it. Just runs right over McKnight. McKnight's still down on the field at the 15, and Thomas is in the end zone dancing, celebrating a touchdown. Arkadelphia has a 23-0 lead here in Warren in the second quarter.
And there is an injured Warren player. And so we have a break in the action, and I believe this will take a moment. So we're going to take a radio break. 6:47 left, second quarter, Arkadelphia 23, Warren 0, and Arkadelphia will kick an extra point here in a couple of moments. We'll be back in 30 seconds. We are here for the live stream, which is good because this is not going to be as long a break as I thought, so I hope we get the radio audience back in time for this extra point. The injured player we're happy to see walking off the field now is Montre McKnight. Very good player for Warren. He was injured, I believe, trying to make the tackle, but he is going to walk off the field. It looks like he might be in a shape where we'll see him again for Warren, a very talented receiver and defensive back. Arkadelphia is setting up for the extra point. The Badgers, with an extra point, can make it 24-0. 6:47 left. We are in the second quarter. Why can't it be the fourth quarter with this score? Might be later on. We'll just keep it here and tell you about it because so far it's been a lot of fun for Badger fans. Gabe Goodman's extra point attempt is up, and it is absolutely perfect. Arkadelphia 24, Warren 0. 6 minutes, 47 seconds left in the second quarter, and we're going to keep it right here, Jack, to talk about what is perhaps not a surprise to everybody because I think the Badgers came into this game with a lot of confidence, but fans around the state, when they see the score, are going to be a bit surprised that Arkadelphia is doing so well so early against Warren. Now, it's early. Warren has a lot of offensive potential, but Arkadelphia has dominated this game so far.
Well, we know Hooten's picked this game as the 4A game of the week, and they picked Warren to win by 2 points, projected win by 2. And so for the Badgers to be up by 3+ scores here midway through the second quarter, I mean, I know for sure that Coach J.R. Eldridge and the Badgers thought this was going to happen, but for aerial analysis, definitely surprising that it is not as close as we expected it to be.
I'll tell you what, Arkadelphia has come out with a game plan. They've executed to exploit these weaknesses that Warren has on their team, and some great game planning from the Arkadelphia coaches. I have to tell you that. No one has done this against Warren this year. Helena did it a few weeks ago, had a really good win against Warren. They scored 60 points in that game, but it was kind of a shootout. The defense didn't perform as well as Arkadelphia has done tonight.
So Arkadelphia with a nice lead, but still midway through the second quarter. We'll see if they can keep it up. Here's the kick from Goodman. High, long kick, sailing over the return man into the end zone. Another touchback. He's perfect tonight, 5 for 5.
Yeah, 5 kickoffs, 5 touchbacks for Gabe Goodman. That's going to give this Arkadelphia defense another chance to come out here and play. And I'll tell you what, this defensive line, for all the talk coming into this game about the Warren defensive line, the Arkadelphia defensive line is who has come out here and shown the best performance. Jason Campbell, Ricky Rogers, Lorenzo Lawson, Terrell Sumler, some other guys out there.
Here is a pass, but it's lateral, I believe. Arkadelphia is fighting for the ball. This was not a forward pass. It's anybody's football. They're fighting now to see who's got it. Arkadelphia believes they do. The officials haven't ruled yet. Let's see. This would be huge if Arkadelphia has it.
Arkadelphia players.
Arkadelphia football.
Wow. That is a huge play there for the Badgers. There's still over 6 minutes left in this quarter, and now Arkadelphia is going to get the ball in the red zone to start their next drive. That's some great field position now for Arkadelphia. A chance to put 7 more points on the board. And, Jack, can we see a mercy rule here?
I don't know about all that. I'm not going to start talking about that until later on, but it's definitely surprising. Definitely surprising.
Well, serious mistake by Warren because they threw the ball that was clearly a lateral and behaved as if it were an incomplete pass until it was too late. Arkadelphia got on the football.
Big mistake there.
From the 21-yard line, Arkadelphia with a golden opportunity now. 1st down and 10. They're going to send Thomas in motion. They're going to hand it off. Hatley is back in the game. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, and he will not get past the line of scrimmage this time.
Yeah, Hatley not being able to pick up many yards on that play. Looks like maybe got one, as it looked like the defensive line of Warren was able to hold him up there.
And now a timeout has been called, I believe. Substitution, injury timeout. Injured player for Warren. He's going to limp off the field. Substituted for. As they mark the ball, they put it right back at the line of scrimmage. So second down, 10 yards to go. Ball on the left hash mark. Arkadelphia at the 21-yard line of Warren. Arkadelphia 24, Warren 0. Clock running. 6:18 left, second quarter. Arkadelphia to the line of scrimmage. 3 receivers to the wide side this time, 1 to the short side. They're going to send him in motion. They're going to fake the handoff. Turner wants to keep it, but they blitzed him this time. It's going to be a loss back to the 24-yard line.
Yeah, it was a good blitz there from Warren. Nice job by Turner to break the initial tackle, but then after that point, there was too many guys in the backfield for Turner to escape and pick up a gain. So it's going to bring up 3rd and long here for Arkadelphia. It's a passing situation now. I suspect we might see Arkadelphia try to load the box and then throw the ball to one of these outside receivers in isolation coverage.
Well, there is a holding call against Arkadelphia. Let's see if they will take the play and the loss of yardage or if they want to take the penalty. We'll see. Slow getting up after he made the tackle was J.J. Hampton, but he'll stay in the game. He's okay for Warren. They are going to back him up. They got to Cannon Turner that time before he had a chance to make any kind of move for forward progress. So they'll spot it all the way back at the 34-yard line. Arkadelphia now out of field goal range, but they will have second down over again. Second down from the 34. They got to make it to the 12, make it the 11 for a first down and 10.
And we have Victor Tadamy in the game on the far sideline. He's checked in at receiver. Alongside him, Thomas, Witten, and Rubel. All 4 guys in at receiver this play, and very capable of catching the football. Might see a deep pass from Arkadelphia.
Arkadelphia will call timeout. The Badgers want to talk about it, and that's a good decision, I suspect, Caleb, because you don't want to waste this opportunity. Now you're back out of field goal range. You got to have a good play here, a couple of good plays to at least get back in field goal range, if not pick up the first down.
Yeah, and Arkadelphia had such good position to start this drive, starting out on the Warren 22-yard line. Now they're backed all the way to the 34, facing a 2nd and 22 now for Arkadelphia. So this is a much tougher position where they started. And so definitely, like you said, want to take advantage of this situation now. Under 6 minutes left in the second quarter. Arkadelphia is up 24 points. Score touchdown on this drive, up 31. That's not a situation Arkadelphia thought they would ever be in coming into this game, at least most of the fans. I know Coach Eldridge and the players have confidence out there coming into every game, but I highly doubt any of them had this much confidence coming into the game. So kind of situation here you have to take advantage of.
They marked off the penalty from the spot of the foul, and so that's why it is effectively a 13-yard penalty, making it 2nd and 23. But Arkadelphia began this possession in field goal range, and they're no longer in field goal range. It would be over 50 yards from here. Now, Gabe Goodman might be able to make one from that far, but instead they're going to wind up. And here's a trick play. Arkadelphia will run the ball to the left side. They've got some yardage inside the 20, inside the 10-yard line. That's a first down. I don't see a flag anywhere.
That's a swinging gate play. You don't expect it coming out of the timeout. The entire Arkadelphia team stayed in the huddle except for Alec Rubel. Goes over the football, snaps it sideways, a swinging gate to Cannon Turner, and Warren was not ready. Arkadelphia's team, as soon as the whistle was blown, snapped the ball. Nice run down the sideline. That's a first down. That's a way to pick up a first down and take advantage of the situation.
And the huddle was over by the sideline where they had been talking to their coaches during the timeout. It worked beautifully, just as designed. Turner on the carry. And now Arkadelphia has first down and goal all of a sudden. 9-yard line. Here's a carry. Hatley's got some room to the 5, to the 3. He'll bounce into the end zone. Touchdown, Arkadelphia.
Wow. Just wow. Zion Hatley, we see on the replay here, come in motion from the left side. Alec Rubel moves a little bit inside the block. Zion Hatley's handing off the ball. Missed tackle there from Warren. And then Warren pretty much just pushes him into the end zone. Not taken down at all. Zion Hatley, another touchdown for him tonight as the Badgers now lead 30-0 midway through the second quarter. Arkadelphia versus Warren.
Here's the extra point attempt, and whistles blew as the ball was snapped, I believe. They did block it, but that won't matter. I believe we'll see that Warren was a bit off sides there, so we'll see what Arkadelphia will do. Now, they have, on occasion, gone for 2, but, of course, Goodman is perfect on extra points, and it looks like they're going to leave him out there to go for 1. They'll just have a 19-yard extra point attempt. Warren is one frustrated team, no doubt about that. Here is the kick. It is up, and it is good. Arkadelphia 31, Warren 0. Let me say that again. Arkadelphia 31, Warren 0. 5:04 left in the second quarter. We'll be back in 30 seconds. And for the live stream, our happy live stream audience, let me tell you who the sponsors are of this wonderful football game in which Arkadelphia has just dominated. Taylor King Law, Southwest Sporting Goods, Doctors Rob and Gary Rucker, Welch Funeral Home, Roger Wingfield, State Farm Insurance, Eddie Arnold of Jostens and Twin Rivers Health and Rehabilitation, Southern Bancorp, Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler, Blake Bell of Edward Jones Investments, and Arnold, Batson, Turner, and Turner. Unbelievable. 5:04 left, second quarter. Arkadelphia 31, Warren 0. Goodman on for the kickoff. All of his kickoffs tonight, 5 of them. They've all been into the end zone. All of them touchbacks. He's set to kick off again.
We want a score update real quick before the kickoff?
Let's do it.
All right, around the 7-4A, Bauxite leads Nashville in a rematch. Second quarter, 11-7. Bauxite leads at Nashville. Stuttgart leads Dardanelle 14-7. Badgers play them if they win this game. Dumas leads Helena West Helena 18-0. Robinson leads Hamburg 35-0 in the second quarter.
You got plenty of time to read scores because the ball just went in the end zone again. Another touchback.
All right, get some more scores then. Rivercrest leads Heber Springs 21-7. Ozark leads Lone Oak 14-0. So scores from around the state. Like I said, Arkadelphia, if they win this game and they're up 31-0 in the second quarter, it looks like it might just happen. They play the winner of Stuttgart and Dardanelle. Stuttgart leads that game 14-7.
All right, Warren. Boy, they know they need a score on this possession. Let's see what they do. They're going to run the ball, and there's nowhere to go. No gain on first down.
And we've pretty much seen the same story all night. Warren, normally the first play, they always just run it up the middle with the running back steps, and pretty much every single time he's had nowhere to go. This Badgers defensive line has done just an outstanding job of containing the star running back, as we saw so there.
Second down and 10. Kennard wants to throw. He's under pressure. He's going to run. He's got some room to run to the 30. Dropped the football. Arkadelphia has recovered.
Right as Kennard crosses the first down line, Arkadelphia, I believe it was Harrison, because Harrison just ran 40 yards down the field to do a celebration there with, I think, a former player. I think Harrison strips the ball away from Kennard right as he crosses the first down marker, and it flies right to the hands of Carlos Haney. Arkadelphia football on the Warren 37-yard line.
Wow. What a great catch it was of that loose football. It didn't bounce. It went right into Arkadelphia's hands at the 38-yard line. They're going to mark it now. First down and 10, Arkadelphia. Now it's 31-0, folks. 4:33 left in the second quarter. Arkadelphia comes out onto the field. Play clock is running down to 13 seconds. They're going to have to line up quickly. Clock stopped at 4 minutes, 33 seconds left before halftime. Arkadelphia will run the football. To the left side goes Hadley. Cuts it up to the 35, to the 30. Breaks the tackle. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Arkadelphia.
Wow. I mean, I really can't say anything else. Another touchdown for Zion Hatley, another touchdown for the Arkadelphia Badgers. I look at the scoreboard over there. It says Arkadelphia 37. It says Warren 0. We see the replay here. Zion Hatley just getting that acceleration and speed that we've seen so many times over these past few years. And really all of us here in the press box, we don't know what to think. Coming into this game, we're talking about score predictions. We just did not know. And now the Badgers are up by 37.
Goodman extra point is up. It is good. Again, Arkadelphia 38, Warren 0, 4:24 left in the second quarter. We're going to keep it right here this time to tell you that the Arkadelphia Badgers have come in with great confidence, and they've completely dominated the game. Arkadelphia has not made mistakes other than a couple of false starts. And Caleb, Arkadelphia has been able to run its offense to perfection. Their defense is throwing another shutout. This is a team that looks like a defending state champion.
Yeah, this team is playing incredibly tonight. This is the best performance I've seen from Arkadelphia all season long. They're playing better tonight than they're making Warren look like a worse football team than Gosnell was last week, which I almost guarantee you Warren is a better football team than Gosnell. But Arkadelphia coming out here with a point to prove, and I'm not sure if they're going to be the underdogs again in the playoffs.
Okay, now we have to remind everybody, we're not in a mercy rule situation yet. And Warren will try to score here before halftime and take themselves out of that situation. But Arkadelphia has built an amazing lead of 38-0. 4:24 left in the second quarter. And Goodman is set up for another kickoff. Gabe Goodman has put every kickoff into the end zone. Here's the kick. It's long. It's high. They're not even trying to get under it anymore. It sails into the end zone again. He's perfect.
I mean, why would they try, though? Gabe Goodman's done that every single time tonight. Warren really has no reason to try. I mean, we've seen this against every team that we've played. It's just like a center fielder just watching the ball go over his head, over the back wall as a home run. Like, it's almost automatic from Goodman. As we've seen every single time tonight, another touchback.
Kennard at quarterback, lines his team up, trailing Arkadelphia 38-0. Here is a running play. Vincent Steps looking for a place to go. He'll break a tackle, but he still just makes it back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he broke 3 or 4 tackles, but that 9-5-9 mentality from Arkadelphia, they preach that week in, week out. 9 guys within 5 yards of the ball, 90% of the time paid off there. So even though Steps was able to break 1 tackle, wasn't able to break, those other 9 guys that were surrounding the ball for Arkadelphia.
He got about a half yard. Back to pass. Kennard looks. He throws across the middle. He's got a receiver at the 35-yard line. First down and 10. A quick tackle by Cannon Turner, but it is a first down. Catching the ball was Cade Rep.
Yeah, Turner that time was not able to get around the receiver Rep to break up that play, but he was able to get the quick tackle. Although Rep made a good catch after a good throw by Kennard, and that'll result in a Warren first down.
Under 4 minutes to play before halftime. Kennard wants to pass again. He is under a bit of pressure. He'll fire to the sideline. He'll bounce it to his receiver, incomplete. He threw it off stride that time and did not throw a good pass. Arkadelphia put a little bit of pressure on him.
Yeah, tell you what, Warren is battling the clock now. There's 3:41 left in this first half, and Warren has to get a touchdown before halftime. Otherwise, basically game over. Clock will run in the second half if Warren doesn't get a touchdown. Field goal wouldn't even cut it for the Lumberjacks. So they're really needing a touchdown and feeling the pressure on this drive.
Warren is a proud program. They never dreamed this would happen, and their back is up against the wall on this drive. Back to pass Kennard. He wants to throw deep. He'll throw a pass that is complete up to the 46 of Arkadelphia, driven out of bounds at the 40-yard line. That'll stop the clock at 3:34, and it will give Warren their first possession on the Arkadelphia side of the 50-yard line.
Yeah, I really don't think Warren is going to go down without a fight. They're not ready to give up yet. Kennard making 2 great throws in this drive so far. The quarterback did an outstanding job.
That was a good throw that time. Kennard in the backfield looking to throw the ball again. He's under some pressure. He's retreating back across the 50. Now he wants to throw it deep. He'll fire the ball out of bounds. And a big hit over there by Wallace.
It was a huge hit by Wallace on Kennard just as he released the football. Made Kennard pay for holding on to the ball for that long. It was a good job. I think it was Campbell. Forced Kennard to roll out of the pocket. And then Josh Wallace's job was just to spy the quarterback that time, make sure he didn't scramble. And as soon as he started scrambling, Wallace was chasing and pushed him down just as he threw the football away. Made him feel that hit. Good job by Kennard, though, to throw the ball away and prevent any kind of loss on that play.
I thought he might come out of the game for a moment, but he is going to shake it off and stay in the football game. Second down and 10 for Warren at the Arkadelphia 39-yard line. They'll line up to throw another pass, I'm sure. He'll roll out. He's under pressure again. He'll fire it short. It is caught, I believe, but he caught it on his knees at the 40-yard line. And now Warren's going to have to call timeout, stop the clock, and to talk about what they'll do on third and very long.
We saw this last year in the state championship game. The head coach of Warren, Bo Embry, is in the middle of the field with his team, not waiting for his team to come over to the sideline, but they're having their huddle in the middle of the field to try and figure out what they are going to do on this third down play.
Almost looks like when you're playing backyard football with your dad and he bends down at midfield and draws plays in the turf. Bo Hembry standing at midfield on one knee, and it looks to me like he's drawing a play in the turf for his team to run up on this time. Need a first down here. 3rd and 12 for Warren. This is a must-convert situation here, and Hembry's doing all he can to communicate the importance to his team.
The scoreboard showing second, but it's 3rd down and 12. They marked the ball at the 41-yard line. It's 3rd down and 12. And the box is correct on the sideline. 3rd down and 12 yards to go. Back to pass, Kennard. He wants to scramble. He will scramble. He will be hit. He will just make a yard or two, and it's 4th down and long. The scoreboard still shows second. Now they switch to 4th. They got it right. So it's 4th down and 10. Make it close. Make it 11. They're going to spot it right at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, and that was a perfect play there. And it looks to me like they put Lorenzo Lawson in on the defensive line. He's the guy that brought Kennard down that play and brought him down with some force. 4th down now. This is a crucial conversion situation here for Warren.
4th and 11. Warren trailing Arkadelphia 38-0. Back to pass. Kennard will throw it, and he misses his receiver, Vincent Steps, who's hit hard by Carlos Haney. No flag as he was hit just after the ball got to him, and he dropped the football. I don't see a flag, Arkadelphia. I thought that might happen because it was a ferocious hit, but it came just after he touched the football, so it's a fair hit, and Arkadelphia takes over at the 40.
Yeah, it looks like a fair hit to me by Haney. It was a hard hit. I think just for that fact, you're going to get a reaction from the Warren crowd, and the Warren coach, of course, Bo Hembry, notorious for his work with the referees. He's out around the 40-yard line, around the numbers, talking to the official, but it's going to be a turnover on downs for Arkadelphia. They got the football now, 2:37 remaining. Might Arkadelphia just try to run down the clock for the rest of the first half here and get out at halftime with the mercy rule?
Well, the running game has worked, so I wouldn't be surprised if they stick with it. Now they put in Buster Thomas at quarterback, right? Buster Thomas will hand off. They'll go to Hatley. Hatley right up the middle, gets 2, maybe 3. He'll break a tackle. He's got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a first down.
And Zion Hatley just carried Kennard on his back for 8 yards. I am not kidding you. It looked to me like Kennard was on Hatley's back, and Hatley gave him a piggyback ride for 8 yards across the 50-yard line for a first down. Excellent effort there by Zion Hatley, driving his feet, staying on his feet, and picking up that first down.
Arkadelphia will have to wait for its next play, so we're going to take a break. Injury timeout on the field for a Warren player. 2:26 left, second quarter. Arkadelphia 38, Warren 0. We'll be back in 30 seconds. And with the live stream, we are right back with you right now to tell you our sponsors this game. And as always, Taylor King Law, Southwest Sporting Goods, Doctors Rob and Gary Rucker, Welch Funeral Home, Roger Wingfield of State Farm Insurance, Eddie Arnold of Jostens and Twin Rivers Health and Rehabilitation, Southern Bank Corps, Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler, Blake Bell of Edward Jones Investments, and Arnold, Batson, Turner, and Turner, our sponsors tonight and all year long. One of the linemen injured, Michael Miranda. Good to see him walking off the field, though, the junior for Warren. And Arkadelphia comes back to the line of scrimmage. First down and 10 at the 49-yard line of the Lumberjacks. Arkadelphia leading 38-0. Clock running now, 2:23 left in the second quarter. Running play for Zion Hatley. Hatley will break 2 tackles. Now they're going to push him back, trying to strip the ball, but they can't do that. Gain of a couple on the play. Mr. Hatley, folks, has carried the ball 16 times for 142 yards.
And what a first half it's been for Zion Hatley. And he's got some space, some really nice blocking from the offensive line. And I think we're about to call all their names at halftime. They've done such a good job here in the first half. The Hatley's done a good job himself, an individual performance and good team performance.
Arkadelphia looks to the sideline. No reason to hurry. Going to let the clock go here to 1:44. Clock running. The Badgers are up 38-0. Here is a running play. Hatley to the right side. He's got a little bit of room. He breaks the tackle. He's across the 40 to the 35 to the 33-yard line. Zion Hatley running wild tonight.
And Warren, this defense is just kind of looks like they, not necessarily that they've given up, but we see just not as much effort, especially on that play. Zon Hatley just running by guys really with kind of a half-hearted effort of tackling there is Zon Hatley. We know the power and speed that he has, but that time just running right past the defenders and able to pick up another first down.
To prevent the mercy rule, Warren's got to score before halftime. They only have one timeout left. Arkadelphia is driving, 1:14 left, clock running. It's looking awfully good for the Badgers right now. From the 33, on first down, Arkadelphia runs. Here's Buster Thomas to the left side. He's got some room. He's up to the 25. Another first down inside the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and Buster Thomas just looks like he's trying to stay in bounds there on the far sideline. I think he might have just fallen out. Yeah, they wound his clock, so he's going to stay in bounds. A good job by him. He almost dove on the ground looking like he was almost playing the quarterback position there, trying to stay in bounds, keep the clock running, and Arkadelphia has moved into the red zone. They could get another touchdown in before half if they wanted to. I think they might not try for that.
I don't know. We'll see. Badgers up 38-0. Clock running at 45 seconds. They're down to 10 seconds on the play clock, so they've got to run a play here momentarily. They'll turn now and get in position. Cannon Turner at quarterback. He'll hand it to Hatley. Hatley to the right side, hit in the backfield by Kennard, his best tackle of the night. That's just going to run clock, though. We're inside 30 seconds, and Warren has not used its last time out.
And Arkadelphia will be able to go to the halftime now if they choose, or they could run another play. It's all up to them.
Yeah, the Badgers are, it would appear, willing to let the half expire with this 38-0 lead, and that means it'll be a rolling clock. Mercy rule in the second half. Unbelievable. Huge ovation now from the visiting crowd as the Badgers walk off the field. 1.9 seconds left, and has Warren called timeout? Arkadelphia has called timeout. 1.9. Well, this makes sense. If you want to try a field goal for Gabe Goodman, you do it with 1.9 left. So this will be the last play of the half. And this will be a field goal attempt from near the middle of the field, just off center to the right slightly. It will be a 36-yard attempt. He's trying it on second down and 10. Cannon Turner having a conversation with the official. Now he will get the information he was looking for, and he will set up shop at the 26-yard line. So a 36-yard field goal attempt by Gabe Goodman. Warren will come after it. Flags go down. I think Warren was offsides, but we'll see.
Perfect kick from Goodman. It went all the way back to the track, about 30 yards behind the field goal. The ball flew back that far, but
they did blow the whistle, though, so they're going to make him kick it again, I believe.
Yeah, offsides call from Warren, so that's going to take 5 yards off this effort from Goodman.
That's right. That is the call. So he'll have to kick it again, but he'll kick it from 5 yards closer. Instead of a 36-yard attempt, it'll be a 31-yard attempt.
Disappointing there for Goodman. He nailed that 36-yarder. I'm sure he definitely has a distance to nail it from 31, but he wants that 36 on his resume.
Well, the 36 could have been good from 46, I think. And now they're going to jump off sides again as mistiming his jump and creating another 5-yard penalty is Kamontre McKnight.
Yeah, I think these Warren players are just a little bit disheartened here, and they know this is the last chance. They can block this kick, take it back for a touchdown, prevent the mercy rule, and they're trying for it.
He's a hurdler on the track team, I'll tell you that. Got over the entire offensive line, but the ball had not been snapped yet. From the 10-yard line, Arkadelphia will now be attempting a 26-yard field goal. It was 36, it was 31, now it's 26. At this rate, Gabe Goodman may score a touchdown.
Okay.
1.3 left. Well, I guess it should be 1.9, but it won't really matter. It's going to expire on the field goal attempt.
And the referees are telling the Warren players, please don't jump off sides this time.
Gabe Goodman, just a master of concentration here as he just nails kick after kick no matter what else is going on around him. Here's the kick. It is up, and it is absolutely perfect. Arkadelphia 41, Warren 0, and it's halftime. We'll be back with a halftime show in 2 minutes. It's halftime, and this is the live stream where we have just had an unbelievably good time covering the Badgers all year long, but never better than tonight. Arkadelphia 41, Warren 0. Our sponsors tonight, as always, throughout the season. On the live stream, Taylor King Law, Southwest Sporting Goods, Doctors Rob and Gary Rucker, Welch Funeral Home, Roger Wingfield of State Farm Insurance, Eddie Arnold of Jostens and Twin Rivers Health and Rehabilitation, Southern Bancorp, Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler, Blake Bell of Edward Jones Investments, and Arnold, Batson, Turner, and Turner. Now, in a few minutes, we'll have a chance to talk to Chris Babb, and we'll be talking about Arkadelphia Public Schools and all kinds of great things going on. But let's take a moment or two just to talk about this first half. Jack and Caleb, what an incredible first half this was. I've been calling a lot of football games for Arkadelphia for a lot of years. I've never seen anything quite like this. A rematch of the state championship game. Warren's lost only one game all year. They've been ranked number 1 in the state for most of the season. Arkadelphia lost its first 5, won its next 6, and the Badgers lead in this game at halftime 41-0.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Jeff. Before this game, I skipped about 3 different events I was invited to come to this game and be here. I told people, no, I can't go to your event. I'm going to be at the football game, Warren against Arkadelphia. They said, that must be a good game then. I said, it's going to be a very good game. I have no clue what's going to happen. It could go either way. It'll probably be a 2-3 point game coming down to the last possession. It'll be one of the most exciting games of the year. Did not expect anything like this. I don't think anyone else did either. 41-0 at halftime. The Badgers lead. I don't know when the last time Warren was mercy ruled, much less mercy ruled at home. Almost definitely hasn't happened in the playoffs.
In a playoff game. It's just unbelievable, but so much fun for Arkadelphia fans who did not give up the ship when they were 0-5, Jack. Hung with the team. The team put it together, and the team has continued to get better through this winning streak. They are definitely playing like defending state champions right now.
And this is just so incredible because, I mean, like, we've pretty much been looking at this game since we found out that there was a good chance that we'd be playing Warren towards
week 6.
Yeah, like midway through the conference season, and we kept an eye on this game because this is in a sense the game of the year for a lot of these fans and a lot of these players. This is the game that they look forward to on both sides, in Arkadelphia and Warren. So Arkadelphia to be able to come out and play like this, up by 41 at halftime. It's just absolutely incredible.
And you know, these Warren fans were excited for this game. They felt robbed last year in the state championship game. With that, if you recall, last year, state championship game, a Warren fan walks out on the field, 15 seconds left, under 10 seconds left in the game, and Warren fans, a lot of them believe that action cost them the state championship game. I mean, I heard up here in the box that last year Arkadelphia state championship was a phony state championship. Thanks to that game. These guys were ready to come out here and play Arkadelphia. I'm sure Coach Emery had the team pumped up to play, and they were ready to prove they should have been state champions last year. Arkadelphia comes out here and does this. I mean, I'm lost for words.
Caleb, you do the J.R. Eldridge show every week, and you've seen Coach Eldridge when the team was 0-5. You've seen him through this winning streak. He certainly never gave up on this team. He kept saying, we've got the potential to be a very good team. We're working on it. We're getting better. The younger players who struggled against that higher classification non-conference schedule, that struggled against Robinson and Nashville in the first 2 conference games, they've improved so much. And the veterans are playing well. There's a lot of healthy players on the team right now, a lot of excitement, a lot of people running well, tackling well. This team has just progressed, as J.R. Eldridge teams do, and it's made a huge difference.
Yeah, I remember after that Robinson game, I sat down with Coach Eldridge, and he pointed out on the film, he said, this, and this. These 4 plays. If we had done them differently, we would have won this game. And he said, I don't know when we're going to stop talking about these mistakes and stop talking about what could have been and start talking about what's happening and what we're doing to win games. And he says, as soon as we stop making those mistakes, we're going to be the best football team in the state once again. And I'll tell you what, this team has stopped making those mistakes, and they're played an almost perfect game tonight. The only mistake I could think of is not getting in the end zone in that 3rd and goal situation and having to kick a field goal. They're still up 41-0. This team has played nearly perfect tonight. Forced 2 turnovers on defense. Great all-around effort from Arkadelphia.
Some stats for you in the first half. Zion Hatley, what a game he has had. 18 carries, 158 yards. Caleb, I tell you what, he was a guy that was really marked by Warren as someone they would stop in the championship game last year. And so it was Cannon Turner's passing and running that really pulled up all the stats last year in the championship game. But Hatley has just been dominant tonight. 18 carries, 158 yards, in one half of action.
Yeah, last year the key for Warren to stopping Hatley was they had Traylon Burks playing some kind of middle outside linebacker hybrid, just spying on Hatley the entire game, shadowing him around the field. This game they've come out and believe they tried to do it with McKnight. They put McKnight at that position and trying to have him spy Hatley. It's just not working. I've counted 2 or 3 times Hatley made McKnight miss in the backfield, took off downfield. The Warren defensive lineman, the Arkansas commit, Miller, has been a non-factor in this football game. I think one time he put pressure on the quarterback. He's a really big player out there on the field. 6'5", 300 pounds. He's going to be a really good college player, especially once college Arkansas defensive line coaches get a hold of him. He's going to be a really good college football player. But right now, this Arkadelphia team is really schemed around him. They're using their read option to take him out of the game and really running around him. And Arkadelphia using their speed to their advantage and getting around this team and blocking well as a team and blocking well downfield and taking care of business.
When Hatley has needed a break, because after all, he's carried the ball 18 times in one half, they brought in Harrison. He's got 24 yards in 3 carries. That's 8 yards a carry. Then you look at Thomas, 2 carries for 20 yards. That's 10 yards a carry. And Mr. Cannon Turner at quarterback has run 9 times for 63 yards. Also great work from the quarterback. The rushing attack has been, Jack, so dominant. And that goes to the offensive line, a group of new starters at the beginning of the year that struggled against those higher classification teams in the non-conference schedule, but they've really come along here in the second half of the season.
And that's really what we talked about at the beginning of the game in the pregame show, that this game is going to be won in the trenches. And tonight, the Badgers offensive line, the Badgers defensive line, but especially the Badgers offensive line, have performed far and above what we expected. Definitely just outstanding job blocking in the running game for Zion Hatley and Kai Harrison and Cannon Turner. And then the passing game as well, giving Cannon Turner the time and space to make those key throws, to keep the chains moving for the Badgers. Just done an outstanding job tonight on both sides of the football.
Turner has not had to pass very much, but he is 3 for 6 on the night, has not thrown an interception. Rubel has a 13-yard catch. Buster Thomas a 37-yard catch, and Hatley an 8-yard catch. So Arkadelphia has been able to pass when they've needed to, but the running game has been the key. They've run inside, they've run outside, especially outside.
Yeah, like we talked about throughout this first half, they're really trying to go away from this big defensive line of Warren, especially because of Marcus Miller on the defensive line. And the result of that has been the Badgers just taking it to the outside on either jet sweeps or just outside handoffs to the outside, whether it be Cannon Turner or Zion Hatley. What's been so big for the Badgers this year is the blocking from the receivers. And we see that tonight, especially. I don't know how Coach Aldridge has done this. I mean, we question that, but of course Coach Aldridge just really got these guys locked in that fact of just doing a great job of blocking like the receivers do for Zion Hatley and Cannon Turner, to have the space to be able to make those moves, to be able to pick up speed, to be able to pick up more yards. Just been outstanding tonight.
Has a team ever been more prepared for a game than the Arkadelphia Badgers were prepared for this game? At halftime, Arkadelphia 41, Warren 0. We're going to take a break for radio. We'll be back on KDEL FM 100.9 in Arkadelphia in 2 minutes. And for the live stream, we are right back with you right now. You see the Warren Band on the halftime show. Arkadelphia High School's band marching season has ended. They are the state champion band once again, and they performed at home last week, their last performance of their award-winning show. But they've had a pep band here that's been very loud. It's been part of that celebration on the visitor side. Very loud visitor side. They've had a lot to cheer about as Arkadelphia has pushed Warren into the mercy rule here at halftime. Totally unexpected around the state, but somehow I think Arkadelphia believed they could do it, and they made it happen. Arkadelphia 41, Warren 0 here at halftime. Our live stream sponsors, Taylor King Law, Southwest Sporting Goods, Doctors Rob and Gary Rucker, Welch Funeral Home, Roger Wingfield of State Farm Insurance, Eddie Arnold of Jostens and Twin Rivers Health and Rehabilitation, Southern Bancorp, Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler, and Blake Bell of Edward Jones Investment, also Arnold, Batson, Turner, and Turner. Well, Arkadelphia, Caleb, We're not going to say the game's over because they've got to play a half, but the clock's going to roll. So Arkadelphia looks like they're going to get a win tonight with a 41-0 halftime lead. So it's maybe not too early to talk about next week. What do the scores look like, especially that Stuttgart game?
All right, we'll give you the scores first from the Arkadelphia's half of the bracket here. Stuttgart leads Dardanelle at halftime in that game, 14-10. So close game there. Stuttgart ranked as the top 5 team in the state right now. Played Arkadelphia for a few years in a row recently. Refused to play Arkadelphia this year. Thought they might see him in the playoffs. Might turn out to be true if they can pull out a victory over Dardanelle.
Stuttgart's a very good team, having a very good 2018, but Arkadelphia has dominated Stuttgart, including just last year.
Yeah, last year I remember Arkadelphia coming out first game of the season against Stuttgart. Both teams ranked in the top 5. Said it would be a 3-point game maybe. Stuttgart predicted to win. Arkadelphia came out and won that game 29-0 and signaled their intent to start the season. And it'd be nice to see Arkadelphia get to play Stuttgart next week. I know Stuttgart has had a key injury. I believe their best running back / linebacker is out for the season now. So.
Okay, so give us the score one more time, and what quarter did you say? Have they reached halftime yet?
Yeah, 14-0 at halftime. Stuttgart leads Dardanelle. Also on our side of the bracket, Shiloh Christian in the second quarter leads Mena. Get this, 56-0 in the second quarter.
And Shiloh's a good team.
Shiloh playing well, and then this score will interest Arkadelphia fans. The other team on our half of the bracket is Bauxite in Nashville. Bauxite leads that game in Nashville 18-7, looking to get revenge on the Scrappers who beat them in overtime in the last week of the season. So
how fascinating is that with Bauxite playing very well tonight?
Yeah, very, very well. Very good game from Bauxite. Still have to play there, and I'm sure that game will come right down to the wire once again. Other half of the bracket, Dumas leads Helena West Helena 26-8. Ozark leads Lone Oak 14-0. Both those games at halftime. Rivercrest trails Heber Springs at halftime 28-24. Rivercrest expected to win that game, number 1 seed from their conference. And then finally, at halftime, Robinson leads Hamburg 42-0. They've mercy ruled and looks like they're going to be moving into the quarterfinals.
Caleb, the other broadcasts that are going on for all of those games tonight, when they pull up the scores for their halftime shows, do you think they're like punching their phone a little bit, trying to figure out if this Arkadelphia score is correct?
Yeah, I think they might be thinking they see a typo there. Maybe it should be 7-0, maybe not 41-0. I don't think anyone saw that coming.
Arkadelphia 41 and Warren 0 here in Warren. Just an amazing performance by the Arkadelphia Badgers. Well, our halftime guest is Chris Babb, and Chris, of course, is very active with everything going on with the Arkadelphia Public Schools. We've talked a lot of football here, Chris, so I'm going to just ask you one football question, and then we will move on to some other topics related to the Arkadelphia Public Schools. But here's my question. When people ask you about this game, did you say Arkadelphia by 41 at halftime?
Yeah. No, I did talk to Coach Eldridge. I believe it was this morning, and I said, "Well, what do you think?" He said, "Man, I just really hope we go down there and start off strong and keep pushing and shove it and keep pushing and shove it and keep pushing." He said, "I really think we can." He said, "I could be wrong, but I really think we can." He wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong. It's a unbelievable first half. You talk about all 3 phases of a game, needing to play well in all 3 phases of a football game to win. And I don't think that first half of football that we saw, offensively, defensively, special teams, you could have played much better. You can't say any better because you could always – but golly, that was a solid –
on special teams,
half.
We're talking about 2 field goals, all the extra points made, and every kickoff a touchback, making Warren start at the 20-yard line
all 12
each time.
It seemed like 12 of his kickoffs. It did
seem like that.
So
all of them landed in the end zone.
Yeah, plus the opening kickoff. So you had 6.
Right.
5 after touchdowns, 2 after field goals, and the opening kickoff. So I guess that's 8. 8 of his kickoffs has gone into – I could be wrong. That's just off the top of my head. But, yeah, obviously we're on the home side. It's a little bit stunned over here.
And then, as you said, the offense and defense both playing well, keyed by the fact that Arkadelphia won the line of scrimmage in both offense and defense.
No doubt at all. You say games are won up front. Well, that was true here. Arkadelphia won the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. Zion Hatley, I think he said almost 150 yards rushing in the first half.
Yeah, 158.
Okay, almost 160 yards rushing in the first half. He's running like a man possessed. But yeah, Arkadelphia won up front, and I think Warren crossed the 50-yard line one time, and that was at the end when then they went forward on fourth down and couldn't get it.
It was just unbelievable. We're going to move away from football for a moment because I have a few minutes left, another 5:47 left before we enter the third quarter of action. So Arkadelphia High School is one busy place. The elementary schools, very busy this time of the year. People getting ready for Thanksgiving, getting ready for the holidays. The middle school is an active place. There are so many things you could talk about. What can you bring us, what rises to the top in the last 5 minutes of halftime here?
Well, this week, we had a lot of stuff. We talked about a lot about last week at halftime about all the different activities, and this week was busy as well. But I think that week before Thanksgiving, teachers and administrators are ready to wrap the week up solidly in the classroom. You got some activities. I'm not saying nothing. We started basketball season. Swimming and diving teams started last week. Goza Middle School band, the 6th grade band, had a bonfire last night at Goza Middle School. And, I'd like to think that I know a lot of what's going on. But then when you see the Facebook pages of these schools, there is so much going on. We had working on a story this weekend we'll probably put out next week about Arkadelphia High School DECA. It's the marketing national marketing group, high school and college student group that had a chance to go to Memphis last week and see a Grizzlies game and hear from a panel of professional sports executives from 4 of the professional franchises in Memphis, football, basketball, soccer, and esports, Grizz Gaming, which if the students listen, they had some fantastic career advice as they finish high school and go to college. We had musicals last week at Parrott. Week before last, Peak had J-Ed Peak Day, where they hear from someone about the history of Peak Elementary, and this year it was Reverend Johnny Harris. And members of the Peak Alumni Foundation are always there, so a good history lesson for the students to know the history behind Peak Elementary. But,
Reverend Harris, a longtime math teacher for Arkadelphia as well.
That's right. But it was a good week to wrap up and go into a full Thanksgiving, a full week of break for Thanksgiving.
What a great opportunity it is to be able to talk about the Arkadelphia Public Schools and all the things going on. You do that in a lot of ways, through written stories, through photographs, through video. This year, the addition of live stream means a lot. Tell us about what you're doing there.
Well, we're live streaming. Obviously, live stream football games. We're able to do we hope to expand this. So what you see is not all. I got a comment and say, I hope we can do all the programs. Well, that's a goal. Here in December, I don't quote off the top of my head. I think it's December 11th. The band program is going to have their annual Christmas concert, and we're working on plans to live stream that.
Great.
And we've done the 2 musicals at Parrott, one at Peak, the Veterans Day Assembly at Central. And then also we post these on APSD-TV on YouTube. Just go to APSD-TV YouTube channel and put that in your search engine, and you'll be able to see a lot of the videos that we've produced from all the districts. But we know that video is king, and video drives viewers, and so hopefully we can be able to produce a lot of those videos to be able to tell the story of what's going on. We have a lot of teachers that work really, really hard, both in the classroom and out. Of course, this week I guess the highlight was snow. I did talk to a couple of teachers, and I came to the conclusion, I put this on Facebook, that the having snow in the South, having snow fall during the day of school may elicit the same energy level as the day after Halloween if that happens during the week. But kids were excited. A lot of them got to take advantage of that. But a lot of teachers doing a whole lot of good things in our district.
Chris, one of the things I love about the live stream opportunity is, as you said, it creates a recording that is then posted. And so if you can't be there, you've got an opportunity to see the live stream. If you can't see the live stream, you can see the recording of it. You got a lot of aunts and uncles, grandparents, folks all over the place are able to view that, including the kids themselves as they watch the recording later on.
Oh, yeah, I know they're watching YouTube. Ask a kid if they watch YouTube, and they'll say, yeah. But one of the things that you're not going to see on there right now are our live rebroadcast of football games. We have made those private, and we'll make those public at the end of the season. Yeah. For obvious reasons, if all 12 games are sitting out there for people for opposing coaches to view, that helps in scouting. So we made those private. But at the end of the season, we'll go back and make all those games public on the feed.
Well, and that's a good decision for scouting purposes and for the competitiveness of the team. But at the same time, a chance to go back at the end of the season and relive some of those games. It's going to be exciting for the players, for their parents, for alumni. One of the things we discovered last year in the run to the championship, there's so many alumni who want to keep up with the Badgers, and Livestream gives them a chance to do that.
It does. Hopefully, I know that we have people from the East Coast to the West Coast watching tonight. I got a text from someone in Washington, D.C. watching the broadcast right now. I know a lot of people who couldn't make the trip, although there's a great crowd of Arkadelphia folks who have made the trip. But a lot of people who could not make the trip are tuning in. We're thankful for that. And Mascot Media shows each week the top 5 viewers of top 5 events as far as viewers. And little old Arkadelphia has been on the top 5 of that list several times among schools, a couple of big schools from Oklahoma, Fayetteville, Springdale, Bentonville. So we've got a lot of faithful followers out there, and they might have hopped off that bandwagon in the first 4 or 5 weeks, but
they're back on now.
They're back on now.
Yeah, you bet they are. I enjoyed at halftime of the championship game talking to my old buddy Kerry Garnett, the quarterback from 1979's championship team, and I saw on Facebook that he is certainly tuning in and paying attention to the Arkadelphia Badgers from California. Maybe he'll make another trip to Little Rock here in a few weeks. Arkadelphia.
I'd love to give Kerry the option of having to make that decision.
Wouldn't you love that? Yeah. I'll tell you what, though. Let's just close the halftime show with this. The Arkadelphia Badgers look like the defending state champion tonight, do they not?
Golly, you'd be hard pressed to find a football team that played a more solid half of football than what Arkadelphia just put together that first 24 minutes.
Arkadelphia 41. Warren 0. If you're just tuning in, let me say that one more time so you can hear it clearly. Arkadelphia 41, Warren 0. If you're on the live stream, that's not a misprint. Arkadelphia 41, Warren 0 at halftime. We are just about ready for third quarter action, and we will have a rolling clock when we get there. This is Jeff Root along with me, Caleb Bird now, and also with me, Jack Bennington. We've seen a lot of football. Never seen anything quite like this, Jack. It's a lot of fun for the Arkadelphia Badgers right now.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like really the rest of the Arkadelphia community, and probably a little bit for the same for Warren. A lot of jitters coming into this game. A lot of nervousness on both sides. Warren and Arkadelphia really just not sure how this game was going to turn out tonight. Like we talked about before the pregame, we really weren't sure how this game was going to go tonight. Both of these teams being highly ranked. Warren ranked number 3 in Hooten's 4A rankings. Arkadelphia ranked 8th. Arkadelphia predicted to lose by 2 points. And then the game happens, and we're halfway through the ball game, and Arkadelphia is up by 41 points.
Here's the thing, guys. Arkadelphia kicked off to begin this game, so the Badgers about to get the football to begin the third quarter. Arkadelphia's lined up looking for an onside kick. That would not be a surprise at this point. Jesus Teneco is the kicker for Warren, and he is set to kick off. Arkadelphia has 10 men up near the line looking for the onside kick, and they have 1 deep. And I believe that's Cannon Turner who is deep in case they kick it long. He is lined up to kick off now, and so we're back to third quarter action. Warren in a position now for an onside kick, and that is not going to be what we see. Instead, he hooks the ball and sends it out to the track, out of bounds. Just mishit it.
Yeah, not even close to being an onside kick, a pooch kick, trying to take possession deep in the Arkadelphia territory. He just got it bounced, so no attempt at a return whatsoever for Arkadelphia there, and Badgers will have the ball around the 30-yard line, 35-yard line now for Arkadelphia, and sure we'll see Buster Thomas come out at quarterback and hand the ball off a bit, let these sophomores get some playing time at running back.
Arkadelphia is going to line up some of the backup players in the game already, getting some awfully important experience. And it is Buster Thomas at quarterback. Now, he's a starting receiver, excellent player as a sophomore. He's also the backup quarterback. First down and 10, ball at the 35-yard line. Arkadelphia in no hurry, but the clock stopped now and starting again now. 11:44 left, clock running, and it's just going to run because it's 41-0 Arkadelphia. First play from scrimmage is a running play. Right up the middle it goes. Holding on to the football very tightly is the running back, and it's going to be a gain up to the 38-yard line. So Arkadelphia, you can bet, is going to keep the ball on the ground as much as possible.
Yeah, the clock is running now, and it's not going to stop for the rest of the night. could stop potentially, timeout, kickoff, but likely not stop for the rest of the night now. And it's a good night to be a Badger, a good night for these youngsters to come out and get some playoff action against a very good team in Warren.
Keelan Nelson is the running back next to Buster Thomas at quarterback. He will hand it to him, and Nelson comes to the right side, once again holding on to the football very tightly. Short gain, but Arkadelphia wants to just run that clock, and they're going to do it. Badgers leading 41-0. Hatley is out of the game. Don't know that we'll see him in the second half, but he had 158 yards rushing in the first half. Arkadelphia will let the clock run, look to the sideline to get the play. Still 15 seconds left on the play clock. We're down to 10:27 left in the third quarter. Now to the line of scrimmage. The Badgers have one receiver wide to the left side. They're going to send a man in motion and hand it off to him. They'll try to go wide. He is hit near the line of scrimmage, breaks a tackle, but then will be knocked down. Good hit on the far side over there by Kennard, and his helmet flew off, so he'll have to leave the game. It is fourth down punting situation for the first time tonight for Arkadelphia.
Yeah, good job there. Good to see Don Hunter get a run, and he did a nice job to break a tackle and get a few yards. And now we're going to get to see a bit of, I believe Gabe Goodman's going to come out and send the punt deep now. Get to see a bit of his punting ability. I haven't seen it yet tonight. Badgers haven't been forced in a punting situation. They kicked 2 field goals, and those are the only 2 times their drives haven't ended in touchdowns. Now in the second half, Gabe Goodman's going to get a chance to show off a bit of his all-around special teams abilities.
Goodman is set as the punter. The snap is there. His punt is high. It is deep. Retreating and letting it bounce. Now it'll go inside the 20, inside the 15. It rolls down to the 10, to the 9-yard line. Beautiful kick. Well, he's doing everything right tonight. What a game by Gabe Goodman.
Just another outstanding punt. I believe that's his first punt of the night. Goodman doing a great job at that time of just getting the punt away. 51 yards on the punt we have here in the press box. His first punt of the night, Goodman just doing a great job. Chance we might see a couple more punts from Goodman tonight, but doing a great job of flipping the field and pinning Warren inside their 10-yard line.
Some of the backups, younger guys, getting a chance to play here in the second round of the playoffs in the second half, starting the half. Here's a pass across the middle. That's a completion to McKnight up to the 25 to the 30-yard line. There's a nice gain on a nice pass, and DeMontre McKnight picks up a first down for Warren.
Yeah, a lot of times Coach Eldridge likes to give the first-teamers another shot coming out of the half. After a mercy rule this time, Coach Eldridge is going to put the second guys in right away. Not going to let any of his players get a chance to get hurt moving forward in the playoffs.
Still the first-team offense for Warren, and Kennard wants to throw the ball. He'll fire it across the middle. There is a catch and a tackle at the 48-yard line.
Yeah, good tackle there. I think it was Jones on the tackle, Kalen Jones. Nice job from the safety spot, making a tackle, but they're really just playing some deep coverage, prevent defense here in the passing game, letting Warren get some passes in underneath them, but then tackling those first-team receivers before they're able to get much of a gain.
Clock not stopping on the first down, so we're down under 8 minutes left. Here's a pass to the sideline, complete to McKnight, and he will make the catch and be knocked out of bounds at the 46-yard line, but the clock will continue to run under 7 minutes and 30 seconds left now in the third quarter. And now that they've moved the ball, Arkadelphia will send the first-teamers back on.
First-teamers are trying to keep the shutout here. The whole entire 11 first-team defense runs back out on the field.
Kennard at quarterback wants to throw the ball again. Under some pressure this time. He steps up, still looking for a place to throw. Now he's going to run. A little bit of yardage. His helmet comes off again on the tackle. Well, I hope he's okay. A flag goes down.
I don't know about that.
And the flag came from an official who was way behind the play. Kennard had lost his helmet on a tackle moments ago, and this time on a run it came flying off. Wonder if he's strapping it down very well, but it's going to be apparently a call against Arkadelphia on the tackle. Wow. So it's a major penalty against Arkadelphia to the 24-yard line.
That's unfortunate because this Kyron Harrison have to come out of the game, and I just hope that doesn't come back to bite him for next week. Not sure what the rule is there, but could have to miss the first half of next week's game against the winner of Stuttgart and Darnell.
And now they're going to have a conversation with Coach Eldridge. You know, Kennard's helmet flew off when he made a tackle, and then it flew off again when he made a run. So, I don't know. We didn't get a close enough look at it to be sure. The official who called it from about 20 yards behind the play, but he seems sure of his call. The officials who were closer did not make that call. But at any rate, it'll move the ball to the 24-yard line, and Harrison is out of the game. Clock running again. And they're going to change quarterbacks and fire the ball into the flat. Completion and a run after the catch. First down inside the 15-yard line. The new quarterback is Weston Embry, the coach's son, 10th grader.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that targeting call is just really unfortunate. It came from the referee about 20 yards off the ball from behind. Threw it into the play, and sure, just saw the helmet of Kennard fly off. You can't really see. You might have to watch on the coach's show Monday, see exactly what happened in that play, whether it was a target or a missed call.
Kennard throws it into the end zone incomplete, bounced it to the intended receiver. And now it looks like Arkadelphia is going to send the second teamers back on. Well, I guess, why chance another call like that one? They're going to send the second team on and let them just do their best against the first team Warren offense. The ball in the red zone. Second down and 10. Kennard wants to throw again. He's got some time. He fires it across the middle, and it's a touchdown for Warren. So the Lumberjacks get their first score of the night with 6 minutes left in the third quarter, but the clock will stop at 6 minutes left as they set up for the extra point attempt. Well, Arkadelphia may have to play the first team offense a little bit just to make some first downs and churn some clock away. We're still in the third quarter. Half the time in the quarter has expired. They'll send their kicker on for the extra point attempt. Jesus Denoco is in. Here's the snap. It's good. The hold is good, and the kick is up. And a nice job of nailing that one. So it is Arkadelphia 41. Warren 7, 6 minutes left in the third quarter. We'll be back on KDEL FM 100.9 in 30 seconds. And with the live stream, we are right back with you. Taylor King Law, Southwest Sporting Goods, Doctors Rob and Gary Rucker, Welch Funeral Home, Roger Wingfield, State Farm Insurance, Eddie Arnold of Jostens and Twin Rivers Health and Rehabilitation, Southern Bancorp, Turner, Rogers, Manning and Plyler, Blake Bell of Edward Jones Investments, and Arnold Batson Turner and Turner. Those are our sponsors tonight and always, all season long, with the video live stream. Well, unfortunate targeting call against Arkadelphia, and then a touchdown pass against the second teamers of Arkadelphia, and Warren has put its first points on the board. Coach Embry not one to give up. He'll probably try an onside kick this time. Last time he tried to kick it between the up backs and the one Arkadelphia Badger who was deep to receive, but it was just hooked right out of bounds. So we'll see what they will do this time. 6 minutes left. The clock did stop after the score. Here's the kick, onside kick. It is bouncing. It is going to be covered by Hunter. Nice job. Arkadelphia has the possession at its own 46-yard line.
Yeah, great job covering the ball up there. The senior, Dion Hunter, on the play. Jesus Denoco just tried to do a little pooch kick to the left side, onside kick, but the Badgers were quick to fall on it. Warren wasn't even able to get there before Don had possession of the ball, and the officials had ruled the kickoff dead. So good job there from the Badgers to be able to think on their toes. They'll get possession here at about midfield.
So Arkadelphia comes to the line of scrimmage. Badgers are going to send the second team offense on to try to probably run the ball, run some clock. Clock is running, and it's going to continue to roll as Arkadelphia had Warren in the mercy rule at halftime. 41-7 is the score right now. 5:09 left, clock running, third quarter. Arkadelphia set to snap the ball when it gets a little closer to the end of the play clock. Now they're going to line up Buster Thomas at quarterback. Thomas, a talented sophomore. He will hand off. There is a hit in the backfield. Not much of anywhere to go, and a loss back to the 39-yard line. On the carry for Arkadelphia was Nelson.
Yeah, Nelson just got two hands on the football that play and trying to keep a hold on it, let the clock roll. Big loss for him. But after that first hit and the rush in the backfield from the Warren defensive end, he just put both his hands on the football and made sure he didn't fumble it.
So Arkadelphia lines up. Clock continues to run. Going to be a quick second half. Arkadelphia just trying to let the clock expire with no more injuries, no more ejections, as they had a targeting call on defense against Kai Harrison. A surprising call, we thought. Here is a run by Nelson out to the left side. He cannot escape the outside linebacker out there. On the tackle for Warren, causing a loss on the play, was McKnight.
A good stop there from McKnight, the running back, just trying to make it out and trying to find the seam on the left side, but there just wasn't really anywhere for him to go. Warren doing a great job pursuing on the ball carrier on the play, not allowing him to get any positive yards whatsoever and make it third and very, very long.
Arkadelphia looks to the sideline to get the play. Split receiver to the left side is Becker. They've got Buster Thomas at quarterback, Nelson at running back. And believe time expired. Going to be a delay penalty against Arkadelphia. And the clock continues to run even during the mark-off of a delay penalty. That's kind of ironic. Oh, they stopped it before. The clock went to 0, but they stopped it. Well, now they stop it.
So that'd be interesting.
Stopped it at
strategy,
3:16.
just to take the delay of game. Although the clock's running again, the game clock is. They could just take the delay of game all the way back. And
yeah, it didn't stop for long. From the 31-yard line. That's okay with me, by the way.
just take the delay of game all the way back to the 10-yard line and punt it.
I don't know. I think they're going to let Buster Thomas try to do something here on third down and long. Thomas is set to take the snap. He will hand off. And the handoff to the left side goes Nelson. He's going to pick up a couple, but it's going to be fourth and very long, and we'll see Mr. Goodman punt the ball again.
Yeah, they're playing still against this first-team defense from Warren, and Warren playing for pride now and really not wanting to roll over, especially against this second-team defense from the Badgers, and they've done well in the second half, coming out, continuing to play hard, and not letting this second-team Badger offense get anything going.
Goodman on for the kick. They're backing up as if to set up the return. It doesn't look like they're going to come after Goodman to try to block this. Arkadelphia letting time expire on the play clock, and then they'll snap it. Here's a good snap, and here's the punt. The punt is high, very high. Fair catch called for and made at the 15 or 25-yard line. I should correct myself. There was not a fair catch called for, and he was tackled immediately when he caught the ball at the 24. That's a beautiful punt.
Yeah, and that's the first-team punt team out there still. So that's Carlos Haney making the tackle. He's not going to get to play much in the second half, but when he gets to play, he made a big tackle like he did just there. Not letting any kind of return from Warren, and such a nice punt there from Gabe Goodman. So high up in the lights, it probably should have been a fair catch. Couldn't really see any of the kick coverage team coming for him there, and Haney really hit him out of nowhere.
All right, let's see what the second-team offense or defense can do now against the first-team offense for Warren on this possession. Back to pass is Kennard. He's in the pocket. He fires across the middle, incomplete, in and out of the hands of his intended receiver, Cade Rep. And we're down to less than 2 minutes now, 1:35 and counting left in the third quarter.
Yeah, Rep has been the best player out there for Warren tonight, best receiver for the Lumberjacks, and that time just couldn't come up with the catch. Hit him right in the shoulder pads and bounced onto the turf. It was a nice throw by Kennard across the middle, just couldn't make it catch.
They will line up. Two receivers to the right, two to the left. Kennard wants to throw. He'll fire it across the middle again. Complete. That's enough for a first down, but a tackle is made by Nelson, and he gets some help at the 38-yard line. On the catch was Braden Curry for Warren. We're now under 1 minute to play in the third quarter. Warren has scored in the third quarter. Arkadelphia has not, but the Badgers lead it 41-7. Kennard, veteran quarterback, back to pass, wants to throw long. Now he's going to run. He's up to the 40-yard line, 45-yard line. Tackle made there. He'll bounce out to the 47, but it's not enough for a first down. Good tackle on the play, and Arkadelphia is fighting well. Kennard's a good quarterback, not a big guy, 5'7", 150, but he's got a good arm, and he is strong, very fast runner. He's a senior, playing his last game as a Lumberjack. Fakes the handoff to Steps. In trouble now. He'll escape one tackle. Escapes. No, he does not. Good tackle. Hawthorne got him. And Arkadelphia will force a third down, and now we're down to 10 seconds. They're not going to get another play off in the third quarter.
Yeah, good job by Hawthorne to bring down Kennard on the play. And good job with the Arkadelphia defensive line to put that pressure on him in the backfield. Almost able to bring down Kennard, but couldn't quite bring him to the turf.
We'll take a break as they change quarters at the end of 3 quarters of play tonight. Arkadelphia 41, Warren 7. We'll be back in 30 seconds. And our sponsors once again for the live stream tonight: Taylor King Law, Southwest Sporting Goods, Doctors Rob and Gary Rucker, Welch Funeral Home, Roger Wingfield of State Farm Insurance, Eddie Arnold of Jostens and Twin Rivers Health and Rehabilitation, Southern Bancorp, Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler, Blake Bell of Edward Jones Investments, and Arnold Batson, Turner and Turner. One more quarter of play, and it will not take long as we'll have a rolling clock again. I think we've discovered, even though it's first-team offense for Warren against second-team defense for Arkadelphia, Warren just doesn't have time to catch up. They only got one touchdown in the third quarter.
Yeah, Warren's offense is able to move the ball a bit, but like you said, not enough time left for them to catch up, and that's kind of the point of the mercy rule. Just let the clock roll, let some younger guys get in the game, avoid some injuries for those starters for Arkadelphia as they move on in the playoffs.
And here is a running play by Kennard at quarterback. He'll cross the 50, go to the 48-yard line of Arkadelphia.
And tell you what, this second-team defensive line for Arkadelphia, these younger guys are still doing a good job out there. Landon Kuhn, the freshman, Elijah Wheeler, the sophomore, along with some other players out there doing a good job putting pressure on Kennard in the passing game and keeping these runs to a minimum.
A freshman playing in this game for Arkadelphia. Throw across the middle. There's a catch. This is McKnight again, and he'll make it to the 30-yard line of Arkadelphia and go down at that point. Landon Kuhn, only a freshman, playing in a second-round playoff game.
Yeah, McKnight there showing a bit of his agility. Almost made about 3 Badgers fall down with the juke move. McKnight, really talented player, and shame for him that in the last game of his career here.
And here's a run by Kennard to the far side of the field. He's got some room. He'll go across the 25 and out of bounds, but the clock is going to continue to run as he takes another 20 yards down the track, and now a flag goes down. Oh, my. What are we doing here?
Might call a sideline warning on Coach Eldridge. It looks like Coach ran out on the field and was yelling at one of his players.
I thought they were checking on somebody who was walking a little gingerly over there, but whatever the cause, it is going to be a sideline penalty, not a warning, but a penalty against Arkadelphia.
And I don't think that was Coach Eldridge. I'm pretty sure that was Coach Kaiser, I want to say, coming out there and getting on one of his players for maybe missing an assignment on that play.
Well, we'll just say he was out there doing a little coaching. That's what we'll say. And it is a pass across the middle. There is interception. Arkadelphia comes up with the interception at the 2-yard line.
I think it's Kalen Jones on the interception there. A great job from him, and that's going to keep Warren off the scoreboard again. And, you don't expect to see that. That's the whole entire first-team offense from Warren going against a sophomore-laden defense, freshman on the field for Arkadelphia, and it's a sophomore, Kalen Jones, coming up with the big interception at safety on the goal line. Huge play there from Jones. He's going to treasure that one for a while.
Arkadelphia will come out onto the field with its second-team offense. They have played throughout the second half, and they have not scored, but they have run some clock in this Mercy Rule game. It was 41-0 Arkadelphia at halftime, 41-7 now, 9:50 left to play in the game. Standing in his own end zone after the interception, Buster Thomas at quarterback. The backup quarterback. Here's a handoff, hit at the line of scrimmage, but breaking a tackle and making it out to the 2, make it the 3-yard line. That's a good, tough run by Nelson.
Yeah, it was a good job by Nelson getting out of the end zone and avoiding a safety, really. I was pretty impressed by him. And we talked before the game, Jack, about this defensive line from Warren. It's going to be tough for the first-team offensive line, we thought, to handle them. And this second-team defensive line is playing that same first-teamers from Warren and doing a decent job.
9:12 left. Clock continues to run here in the Mercy Rule game in the second half. Arkadelphia 41 and Warren 7. Buster Thomas is the most dangerous player on the field for Arkadelphia, but he's just handing off right now. He has not passed or run the ball at quarterback. He will hand off again. Mr. Nelson's getting a big workout. He's out to the 5-yard line.
Yeah, Nelson's going to have some bruises in the morning when he wakes up. Taking a lot of hits here at running back. He's doing a good job, though. The sophomore taking some licks from this first-team defense, but he's putting in a good effort, making a case to Coach Eldridge that he should get some touches at running back next year after Mr. Hatley graduates.
Ball out to the 6-yard line. It's 3rd down and 6. Now we are under 8.5 minutes left in the football game.
Right. Kalen Jones is going to check in at running back. Nelson's going to get a breather.
Well deserved. And they're going to give it to Jones. He's going to cut it up the field, but he cannot make it back to the original line of scrimmage. So a punting situation. We get to see Mr. Goodman work out of his own end zone this time for the punt.
Yeah, you know what? I'd say that was not a necessarily bad series for the Arkadelphia second-team offense there. Backed up in their own end zone, avoided a safety, and did a nice job to pick up a few yards against stout first-team defense for Warren.
Ball's on the 4-yard line. Goodman is midway deep into the end zone. He doesn't take the full drop, takes one step and punts it. That helps the snapper out a bit. Good snap. He'll take his one step. He kicks the ball. This is a beautiful kick. It is over the head of the return man. It bounces at the 49-yard line of Warren and rolls inside the 40 to the 35-yard line to the 34-yard line. Oh, my goodness.
That's a 65-yard.
Yeah, he kicked it from the 4-yard line, right? So it's a 61-yard punt.
Yeah, and he was about 10 yards. He's about 5 yards deep in his end zones. If you were to count that, 75 yards. It flew from his foot down the field.
Wow, and it's a 61-yard net punt. Also, no return whatsoever.
It's a lot of yards, regardless. Great punt from Goodman there.
Wow. So Warren lines up offensively, still with its first-team offense in. They ran one play with a backup quarterback because Kennard had lost his helmet. Otherwise, the first-teamer's been in there throughout. He's chased by Kuhn out of the pocket. Now he'll throw it downfield, gets a completion up to the 50-yard line. He'll bounce around and go out of bounds at the Arkadelphia 42-yard line. Clock goes under 6.5 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, nice job there by the Warren receivers on the scramble drill. Kennard scrambles out of the pocket. The Arkadelphia secondary collapsed on the quarterback, thinking they might be able to make a tackle near the line of scrimmage, and they forgot about the receivers that are covering downfield. Left some guys open, and nice gain there from Warren.
Ball spotted at the 41-yard line. Kennard's going to have some passing stats by the end of the game, but pretty much all of it's come in the second half when the game was already decided. Now he's going to run the ball. Inside the 40 he goes, spun out of bounds, and Arkadelphia will hold him to a short gain. Clock continues to run. We're under 6 minutes left in the game.
Tell you what, Sammy Hawthorne is looking like a man out there. Only a junior, but 5'10", 195. He's definitely the dominant force on the second-team defense. Hasn't gotten a ton of playing time this year at linebacker due to those 3 studs at middle linebacker for Arkadelphia, but doing a good job here with the second-teamers.
Run up the middle for Vincent Steps. He'll break a tackle into the secondary. Hawthorne makes another tackle at the 30-yard line. And that's going to be a first down, but the clock will continue to run. We're under 5.5 minutes left to play.
This Badger defense, these second-teamers really, especially this defensive line, have just done an outstanding job, really, in pursuing the quarterback, Kennard, forcing him to escape the pocket every single time.
Kennard wants to pass this time. Looking downfield, he fires it across the middle. Incomplete. Led his receiver just a little bit. McKnight got both hands on it, but couldn't pull it in. Clock continues to run. Under 5 minutes to play in the game.
And McKnight should have came up with that ball in the play. Kennard throwing a little bit in front of him and a little low, but still the standout player for Warren should have made that catch. Just let it go through his hands. Double covered there on the play, and that'll result in second down.
Steps is only a junior. He'll be back next year to lead this offense. And he will take the handoff and run up the middle. He's got some yardage. Spins at the 20. Nice run to the 15. He's to the 10-yard line. He's inside the 5. Knocked out of bounds before he can make the end zone.
Yeah, Warren now just trying to put some more points on the scoreboard and keep a bit of their pride heading into this offseason. And this is a good senior class for Warren, making the trip to the state championship game last year and probably would have progressed further in the playoffs this year had they not run in Arkadelphia in the second round.
Kennard will hand off, run from the 2-yard line. He'll retreat to the 5 and be tackled.
Man.
Who is that? That was
Jay-Sean Davis.
Jay-Sean Davis, a freshman, making the from behind tackle.
Oh, my, that was a great play. That's a 9th grader, guys. Unbelievable. Tackles at the 2-yard line. He hit him about the 4. Kept him out of the end zone. Down to 3:39 left, clock still running. Here's Steps. He runs, and he's hit this time by Hawthorne. They don't want to give up a touchdown here, guys.
Yeah, a few minutes ago you saw the interception on the goal line from Jones, and now Arkadelphia, 10 guys on the field, making a stop here on the goal line. 3rd down, this second-team defense, are they going to make another goal line stand?
Yeah, they're going to try it with 11 this time and see if it comes out well again. Another run, same play. Steps is hit. He is striving. He is pushing. But Arkadelphia is pushing back, and blow the whistle. He did not make it to the end zone.
Guys, this second-team defense is determined not to let in another score. They were upset with that first one, and interception on the goal line a few moments ago. And now letting Warren drive down within the 5, and they've stopped them 3 plays in a row. And I'm sure Warren's going to go for it on 4th down here, but this defense has done a good job.
2:46 left, clock running. Kennard at quarterback. Steps to his left. He's going to keep it. Kennard up the middle. Whoa, did he get in? Yes, he got in. Touchdown for Warren. Their second score of the second half. 2:35 left, and they'll stop the clock after the touchdown. Might be the last possession for Warren in the football game. They'll try the extra point. Tanako in at kicker. Arkadelphia 41, Warren 13, extra point coming for the Lumberjacks. What a game tonight for the Arkadelphia Badgers. 41-0 at halftime. The kicker for Warren. High snap, but he got it down, and the kick is up, and the kick is good. So it is Warren 14 now, but the Arkadelphia Badgers 41. 2:35 left in the football game, and we'll be back in 30 seconds. With a live stream tonight, our sponsors once again, Arnold, Batson, Turner & Turner, Blake Bell of Edward Jones Investments, Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler, Southern Bancorp, Eddie Arnold with Jostens, and also Twin Rivers Health and Rehabilitation, Roger Wingfield of State Farm Insurance, Welch Funeral Home, Doctors Rob and Gary Rucker, and Southwest Sporting Goods, along with Taylor King Law, our sponsors tonight and always. On radio, you are in tune to KDEL FM 100.9 in Arkadelphia. 9 o'clock tonight, and the Badgers are leading the Lumberjacks 41-14. What a football game. Kickoff, returnable by Arkadelphia, but a fair catch is called by Cannon Turner, and so they'll send the second-team offense out. Once again, you're in tune to KDEL FM 100.9 in Arkadelphia, bringing you Badger athletics for decades. Ball at the 27-yard line, first down and 10 for Arkadelphia in that second-team offense.
Jeff, you've been doing this for a few years. Have you seen a performance in a game like this, other than the 2 championship games you've done? Have you seen a performance like this from an Arkadelphia team in the years that you've been doing broadcasting?
You know, I really don't believe that I have, Chris. Yeah. I mean, we're talking about 2 really outstanding teams, but Arkadelphia's completely dominated the game.
Against the opponent, taking consideration.
A team that has been number 1 most of the season in Warren, and Arkadelphia just completely dominated the game 41-0 at halftime. The whistle finally blows.
Well, and Caleb and Jack, and you mentioned it, Marcus Miller's still out there on the field. You know, the big guns are still out there. Kemontre McKnight out there at the defensive secondary. This second team has done this against the big guys.
They really have. That's some good experience playing against the number 1 unit for Warren.
And I think I'd do the same thing. You got seniors out there who this is their last game, so you just let them play.
And it's good experience. I mean, that's an angry group of seniors. They didn't think this would happen. Arkadelphia is learning something by playing against those guys here in the second half with some younger players. Buster Thomas will hand off, and the Badgers will try to make a yard or two here and let the clock run. Here is a run up to the 33-yard line. Tough hit, but Mr. Nelson's getting a lot of action tonight.
Mr. Nelson, you can turn on the TV next year and watch the guy who just tackled you on Saturdays in the SEC. Best victory, best formation in football. The ones come back out to do the victory formation as we've got 30 seconds left.
Yeah, you got to love that. This is going to be the last snap for the victory formation, and so the first-team offense comes back out for that. They didn't even start in the third quarter because it was 41-0 at halftime, Arkadelphia. What an amazing game. Here's Turner. He takes the snap, takes a knee, and that is it. Arkadelphia has the victory. 8 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And this game, folks, is over. Arkadelphia 41, Warren 14, and the Badgers move on in the playoffs. When we come back, we'll have a statistical update from Deborah Root, keeping our stats tonight. We'll have a conversation with Chris Babb. We'll have a conversation with Jack Bennington down on the field. Our own Caleb Bird will have a conversation with Victorious head coach J.R. Eldridge. Final score again before we go to before we go to the post game. Arkadelphia 41, Warren 14. We'll be back in 2 minutes. And on the live stream, we're right back here with you to simply say an unbelievable night of action tonight for Arkadelphia with the huge victory here in Warren. How difficult is it to beat a team that's been number one most of the year? How difficult is it to go to their place and win? A place that they have won so many games, the Lumberjacks here in Warren. But tonight, Arkadelphia put it on the Lumberjacks to the tune of 41-0 at halftime. They get the 41-14 win. Our sponsors for the video live stream: Taylor King Law, Southwest Sporting Goods, Doctors Rob and Gary Rucker, Welch Funeral Home, Roger Wingfield, State Farm Insurance, Eddie Arnold of Jostens, and also Twin Rivers Health and Rehabilitation, Southern Bancorp, Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler, Blake Bell of Edward Jones Investments, and Arnold Batson Turner and Turner, our sponsors tonight and all season long, and the season continues. Chris Babb, I tell you what, we're going to get some scores later on. We'll see if Arkadelphia is going to play Dardanelle or Stuttgart. Stuttgart, we know, had the lead at halftime, but first we'll talk about this game. We'll enjoy the Badger victory. What a huge win it was for Arkadelphia. Chris, the Badgers did everything right in the first half and then got the young guys some experience in the second half.
Yeah. I mean, you have a sense of how a game's going to go when you come into it. And we expected knockdown, drag out. I think Caleb was talking to some of the guys up here. Jimmy Sledge, the longtime voice of the Lumberjacks and UAM. He said, I don't expect a high-scoring game, do you? But they came out. They had a good first series defensively to set it up. They set the tone defensively. They the Badgers then started on offense, got another stop, and then it just started steamrolling, and it just took the air out of this side of the stadium. And the Badgers put together one of their best performances that they've had in a while, and it couldn't have come at a better time.
I think the word barn burner was used before the game, expecting it to be a very close, very exciting game, of course, with a lot of athletic players on both sides. But before Warren got a first down, Jack will bring you into the conversation. Before Warren got a first down, Arkadelphia was up 14-0.
And that in itself is just wild. I mean, like Chris was saying, we expected this game to be back and forth. Like, the team who has the ball last, a good chance they're going to win. And we see that happen at the beginning of the game.
They did. The Badgers had the ball last.
There you go.
Sorry. There you go. I interrupted you, and that was a broadcast no-no. But I go back to the game against Bauxite, talking to Coach Eldridge. After that Bauxite game, he was so proud of those guys for getting that win. He said, because we have believed in these guys all year long.
Right.
He said, maybe nobody else has, but we have believed in these guys all year long. And he said, I think that Bauxite game – thank you, sir. I think that Bauxite game gave the players the belief in themselves that, hey, Bauxite's 8-0 or 8-0 at that time. We came in and got a win, and they really continued to play well. They turned a corner after week 5. We talked about that all season, but that gave them the belief. And from that point, the Badgers have carried that out and have really, really performed as good as you could ask.
You know, there's been so much discussion, Jack and Chris, and discussion for me too, talking about how difficult the first 5 games were, how Arkadelphia had a little bit easier schedule in the second half of the season. They took advantage of that. They grew as a team. But the Bauxite game is such a key, because we're talking about a team that was undefeated coming into that game. They won not only their non-conference games, but they had defeated everybody in their conference schedule. They were winning at halftime tonight in the playoffs. That's an excellent team with Bauxite, and Arkadelphia got a key victory by more than one score, a key victory where they doubled the output of Bauxite in that game.
Yeah, and I think like with that victory, we kind of talked about how the Badgers' past 6 victories, it's kind of been a little bit more easier and the competition they played besides Bauxite. But I think, after tonight, I think it's safe to say that talk of playing teams of lesser ability and just teams that are not as good, I think that can kind of be pushed aside now with a win like tonight.
You get to that third season, you got the non-conference, you got the conference, you got the playoffs, and Arkadelphia looks like a team on a mission, looks like a team that's continuing to improve, as we've said a couple times, playing like a defending state champion right now.
Yeah, let's clarify something that we talked about in the sorry, as I switched this live stream. We talked about in the fourth quarter when the first team came back, Kyron Harrison was called for the targeting penalty. Targeting penalty. In high school and NFHS rules, you're only ejected from a game if the official deems it flagrant. And so, obviously, I saw Kai come in on a punt coverage, and so it was not deemed a flagrant targeting, so there is no penalty for ejection or have to sit out. Just got a text message asking about that. I was able to contact an official that didn't have a game tonight. Obviously, wasn't official
right.
doing a game. Right. But the way I understand it, I didn't want to clear that up. It was not deemed a flagrant targeting, so that was to kind of push ease that thought, because that is, Caleb mentioned it at the time. We only hear targeting in college, and you hear automatic ejection. But that was the case in NFHS rules, and so that's what we believe, and so that's why that's not as big a deal as we thought it could have been.
So glad you checked on that, because that's the biggest news of the second half.
Right.
That Kyron Harrison, who made that hit, which we thought was a legal hit actually from here, the official behind it by about 20 yards saw it differently. But even with that target angle, even with that call, Kyron Harrison did play later in the game and should be eligible next week. That's a key thing to come from the second half. Otherwise, we're talking about lots of sophomores and some freshmen getting playing time.
Otherwise, you're talking about an LSU-Alabama type scenario when targeting was called on LSU's linebacker Devin White in a game against Mississippi State, which was setting before the Alabama game. But that became the headline for that next week. But fortunately, the way we understand it, that's not that's a moot point now for Arkadelphia.
Well, Arkadelphia played like Alabama tonight, I'll tell you that.
Golly.
41-0 at halftime. We'll say it again. We're going to take one more break. When we come back from this break, we will have our wrap-up discussion, offensive player of the game, defensive player of the game. We're just going to say right now that we're going to invent a special teams player of the game for this game and talk about Gabe Goodman a little while.
Of course.
And then also we'll bring you statistics, and we'll bring you an interview with Coach J.R. Eldridge from Caleb Bird. Folks, we'll be back with more Badger football in 2 minutes. And on the live stream, I want to mention one more time our sponsors for tonight and our sponsors all year long in the video live stream. Taylor King Law, Southwest Sporting Goods, Doctors Rob and Gary Rucker, Welch Funeral Home, Roger Wingfield of State Farm Insurance, Eddie Arnold of Jostens and also Twin Rivers Health and Rehabilitation, Southern Bank Corps, Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler, Blake Bell at Edward Jones Investments, and Arnold Batson Turner and Turner. Now, we don't have our radio audience back yet, so we'll hold on to the stats for a moment before we bring you those, and we'll have an offensive player of the game, a defensive player of the game. We'll talk about Gabe Goodman and his kicking also, what a tremendous job he did tonight. We'll have that interview in a few moments from Caleb Bird as he's down on the field looking to have a conversation with head coach J.R. Eldridge. We'll also mention that you can catch the J.R. Eldridge television show. Chris, this is a key thing. Yeah. The television show is going to give you yet another look at this game and commentary from Coach Eldridge, and, of course, that is co-hosted by our own Caleb Bird.
Yeah, you can view those on the APSD-TV YouTube channel that we mentioned at halftime. This will be a fun show to watch for Badger fans. And you can go back and watch the rest of the season as those videos that are listed on that channel are listed chronologically from back to August.
the same sponsors for the J.R. Eldridge Show as we have for the live stream as well. And I want to mention one other thing before we go to our offensive, defensive players of the game, the interview with Coach Eldridge, the stats that we're about to give. Not only did everything work right on offense and defense and special teams, but a trick play worked beautifully, Chris.
Yeah, this coaching staff has done a very good job game planning. Caleb mentioned that at the very beginning of the game. I heard him talking about that. These guys spend a lot of hours down in the field house game planning for things like that. Before games, officials will always talk about, do you have any trick plays you're going to run? And that was one of them they had in their arsenal. They chose that time to run the out of the timeout, standing on the numbers. You have to stand. We can go back and find it on the live stream, but out of the timeout, you're standing in a huddle. And so if you're not going to move, you have to make sure that you're standing with your alignment correctly, having enough guys on the line of scrimmage.
That's
that
right.
You have 9 guys over there on the numbers that your 2 guys are running over. And you got to have faith that Alec Rubel is going to make a sideways snap. It's probably about 20 yards to Cannon Turner,
right,
and then be able to execute the play. The coaches coached him up, and the players executed.
It was a key first down made on that play.
It was.
And as you said, it took some preparation because it did not look like a formation to me. It didn't look like a formation to Warren, but the officials are looking for that. They got to make sure they have the right number of people on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it's not something we'd seen in 7-8 years. It's just something that they had in their arsenal and decided that was the time to use it, and it worked.
They prepared for it well, and it gave them a key first down on a touchdown drive for Arkadelphia. They had a lot of those in the first half. Arkadelphia led at halftime 41-0. Now, we didn't see Hatley in the second half, but in the first half, 18 carries, 158 yards, tremendous work by the senior.
Yeah, Zion Hatley had one of his best games, and that was a half. 18 carries, 160 yards. Cannon Turner, 9 carries for 63 yards. Arkadelphia, 269 rushing yards, 58 through the air. Warren, for a total of 327 yards. Warren, 209 total yards, 97 rushing, 112 pass. That's Vincent Steps, the sophomore last year, junior this year, the fantastic running back with that offensive line, able to muster 97 rushing yards. Buster Thomas, 2 carries for 20. Kyron Harrison, 3 carries for 24 yards for the Badgers. Arkadelphia was, looks like 3 of 6 for 58 yards. Alec Rubel had a 13-yard reception. Buster Thomas, 37 yards, and Zion had an 8-yard for 58. For Warren, Vincent Steps, 15 carries for 68 yards. Kemontre McKnight, 2 carries for -2 yards, and Malachi Kennard, 8 carries for 29 yards from that quarterback position. So 97 total yards. Warren completed 11 of 21 passes, 112 yards on the evening. And then you mentioned, you look at the scoring plays, Arkadelphia, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 scores in the first half. 2 field goals, 4 touchdowns. Actually 5 touchdowns, and that was your ball game, 41-0 at halftime, and Warren was able to score 2 touchdowns in the third quarter as the clock was rolling.
Most of those offensive stats for Warren against the second-team Arkadelphia defense in the second half.
Really proud of those guys for getting in there and getting some good action.
Let's go to Caleb Bird, who has a conversation on the sideline with J.R. Eldridge.
There we go.
Here we go.
Put in one of the most complete first halves I think I've ever seen in my time of watching football. How high was your confidence coming into this game?
Well, Warren's always got a good football team, so I knew, basically what we wanted to do is just execute on all phases, and I felt like our players really wanted to play another week. Excited about that, and they did a great job executing our game plans.
A lot of talk before the game about the big defensive line from Warren, their star players on defense, but your offense just came out, established a run game early, and just ran the ball straight down the middle of that Warren defense.
Yeah, I felt like Coach Moreland, Coach Matlock put together a great game plan for us, and then our offensive line really executed, did a great job staying on blocks, finishing blocks, and then also just getting after it. Everybody securing the ball, Just excited about a great performance.
And then on defense, it went through the entirety of the first quarter, majority of the second quarter before Warren even crossed the 50-yard line. A really amazing effort on defense.
It really was. Our defensive coaches did a great job all week, and then our players just really executed our game plan. And I felt like our players were extremely violent, did a great job, just securing tackles and getting it done. So really excited about that.
And it looks like it's going to be a trip to East Arkansas next week, Stuttgart, for the Badgers. What are you looking forward to next week?
Yeah, we're just looking forward to another week to work together, play hard, and look forward to just working together and getting after it again.
All right, thanks so much, Coach, and congratulations on the victory.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Arkadelphia head coach J.R. Eldridge on the sideline talking to our own Caleb Bird. That is one coach who is proud of his football team. Jack Bennington, excellent work by the Badgers, as we've said all night, but that's a proud coach. He is really happy with the way his team competed tonight.
Yeah, J.R. Eldridge, he really is a leader of men out there, especially this year, taking this team from starting at 0-5 to now winning 7 games in a row and going into the quarterfinals with the 7 consecutive wins, which is an outstanding display from the players, and you gotta tip your cats to the coaches as well.
What a game for Arkadelphia. We are ready to talk about an offensive, a defensive player of the game, but I'll tell you what, as Caleb makes his way up through the elevator, well, there's not really an elevator, but as he makes his way back up to join us, let's talk about Gabe Goodman for a minute. You know Gabe Goodman as well as anybody. This guy's worked so hard, and it has paid off in a huge way, both for him and for Arkadelphia.
And it's funny to me, I was talking to Gabe just a couple of days ago. He was talking to me about how when it comes to kickoffs, he really does beat himself up whenever he doesn't get the ball into the end zone. So without, he's always looking for a touchback. He's always looking for perfection. And I think that's just really a testament of his character, just always trying to get better and better and better. And that's kind of just how these Badgers teams have been as the season's progressed on. But Gabe Goodman has just been – he's really just been outstanding, really a catalyst for this team almost. As the season has gone along, we see, as we've seen tonight, that he is one of the most important players on this team for sure.
Every kickoff, a touchback tonight. Warren had to start at the 20-yard line after every kickoff by Arkadelphia. His punting was outstanding in the second half when the second-team offense was stopped and they had to punt the ball a few times. And he made 2 field goals and 2 opportunities, plus all of the extra points tonight. Wonderful job by Gabe Goodman. Caleb's back with us now, so Jack, get us started, and the three of us will talk about an offensive player of the game.
I really can't go any other way but giving it to the senior running back, Zion Hatley. This year his projection has been a little bit down compared to the previous year, but really tonight, Zion Hatley really showed why he is one of the biggest parts of this offense, one of the biggest parts of this team, just showing out tonight and really just getting this Badgers team moving first down after first down, picking up a couple touchdowns tonight. Just really, he is absolutely incredible whenever he's able to find some space and able to get his feet going. Just did an outstanding job tonight in helping lead the Badgers to a victory.
Couldn't agree with you more. 160 yards, first half yards, didn't play in the second half. What a game for Mr. Hatley. We're picking him offensive player of the game. Compliment somebody and then agree with us, Caleb.
Yeah, I'm going to compliment the offensive line.
Good job.
The offensive line just put in an amazing effort. And I'll tell you what, the progression from the beginning of the year to now on the offensive line has just been like nothing else. I remember especially the first 3 games of the year. You remember last year's offensive line was just all seniors, looked so good out there. Every time you never had a complaint about the offensive line. You never noticed them out there. First 3 games this year for Arkadelphia, I was worried about this offense as a whole just because of the offensive line. The rest of the players were there. The offensive line was new, and they had let a lot of guys get through gaps, weren't able to establish anything on the running game. Anytime there was a decent run in the first couple games of the year, it was all the running backs. They weren't able to follow their blockers. They were just breaking tackles in the backfield. Now it has completely changed. Tonight, this Warren defense came out. I think they'd only allowed 50 points in the last 6-7 games of the year, and this Arkadelphia defense came out and scored 41 on them. Arkadelphia's offensive line dominated the game. That was a really, really good game plan by the coaches on the offensive line. The blocking schemes they used, they had some really different, interesting blocks. You wouldn't usually see guards pulling to block the end on the near side. You hardly ever see that, those kind of blocks, those kind of plays. But it was a really interesting scheme, and it paid off huge dividends for the Badger offense, and Hatley giving them such a big game, and a lot of that due to the offensive line. But I'm going to agree with you and say Hatley, just because we're going to pick one player of the game instead of 5.
All right, offensive player of the game is Hatley, with a big thank you to that offensive line for their continued improvement, and they shine tonight. Beautiful job of blocking, beautiful scheme, excellent coaching, as Caleb said. Defensive player of the game, Jack, it goes to you.
See, this is hard because if I could pick more than one, I'd give it to the entire defensive line. Really did an outstanding job tonight, stopping the likes of McKnight and Steps and Kennard running the football. Every single time that Warren tried to run it up the middle with one of those 3 guys, the defensive line was able to contain these 3 guys and really prevent them from having any sort of success whatsoever tonight. Just doing an outstanding job. But I really, as contradictory as this is, I really want to give my defensive player of the game to the guy who got kicked out for targeting, and Kai Harrison. Not getting kicked out. But Kai Harrison, I really want to give him my defensive player of the game. Just really some of the hits that he laid tonight, man, that really, I think for all of us, kind of shook the stadium, laying hits on the quarterback Kennard, as well as the other running backs and receivers. Just really being a force to be reckoned with on the defense for the Badgers. Just a guy kind of that you see, like, is kind of the potent guy on that defense. You got to watch out for where he is, or you're going to get popped real quick. So I'd really, if not for the defensive line, I'd have to give Kai Harrison as my defensive player of the game for just his presence and his just activeness towards the ball tonight.
I wish we had the live stream camera on Jack just then. His eyes got big. He got excited. That was fun to watch, Jack.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're right. The whole defense played well. The defensive line dominated. Caleb, who are you going to go with? Defensive player of the game.
Defensive player of the game. You pick the defensive line. I'm going to pick between 2 different players here. Defensive line played great. Kyron Harrison and Josh Wallace, the 2 middle linebackers, put in an amazing performance, and I'm going to give the edge to Josh Wallace. Wallace was in on seemingly every tackle, made a couple of big hits. You mentioned some big hits from Harrison, and Harrison had some big hits, but so did Wallace. Wallace, I remember one hit on the quarterback just as he was releasing the ball, and it wasn't a sack. It was an incomplete pass for Kennard, but Wallace just laid a hit on him and took Kennard 5 or 6 seconds to get up off the ground after the hit. And Wallace really had a really nice game tonight, and he's going to get my defensive player of the game.
It is just hard to separate the defensive line from the linebackers and stopping the running game of Warren, because the defensive linemen stood up those offensive linemen, often made the tackle, or at least gave the linebackers a clear shot at the running backs because they stuffed them play after play after play. Warren was down 14-0 before they ever got a first down. Just a tremendous job by the defense. I'm going to agree with both of you. Can we just no, I'll tell you, we got to pick one, right? We're going to pick one. Jack, you pick the whole defensive line. You're going to pick one of those guys?
We'll go with Jason Campbell.
Jason Campbell it is. And you're going to go with?
Wallace.
Wallace and Campbell are our co-defensive players of the game on defense. What a job by all of them, though. Great job by all of them. Do we have a score update?
Yeah, still loading the webpage here. Might have a few different scores, but final scores from around the state. Ozark beat Lone Oak 34-0. Robinson beat Hamburg 49-29. Hamburg scored 29 second half points after the mercy rule. So,
wow,
interesting there from Hamburg. In the fourth quarter, Stuttgart leading Dardanelle 21-10. It looks like Arkadelphia is going to be making the trip to Stuttgart. We'll be eating some good barbecue once again next week. Emma Kibbs. Excited about that.
I've got a text telling me that next weekend is Wings Over the Prairie Festival in Stuttgart. We'll be part of a festival next week.
Oh, I'm excited now.
Duck season just started up, so maybe some Badger fans.
Apparently Jerry Jones will be in town because he always flies directly to his duck camp after the Thanksgiving Cowboys game, so perhaps we'll have him on at halftime. We'll give it a try.
Sure.
Fun. Tune in next week. Bring a radio to the game. Rivercrest leads Heber Springs 42-28. Shiloh defeats Mena 56-0. Dumas trailing Helena West Helena now third quarter. Dumas was up 26-8 at halftime. Now, still in the third quarter, Helena leads 30-26. And then Nashville's come back against Bauxite, 27-18. Nashville leads in the fourth quarter. 34-14 now, Nashville leads. So 34-18, Nashville leads. Looks like they're going to pull it out and make it to the quarterfinals.
Nashville coming through in the second half, it sounds like. That game was much
Nashville
closer.
Was down 18-7, I believe, at halftime.
Yeah, they've come through with a big second half. Well, Arkadelphia's one hot football team. We knew it coming into the game. We are believers that these guys can beat anybody at this point, Jack. Arkadelphia is a threat to win another state championship. It's going to be a long ride yet, a lot of games left, but Arkadelphia looking so strong right now. It's never been more fun to be an Arkadelphia Badger fan. Give us your final comments for the night.
I'm excited, honestly. After tonight, if I wasn't excited before tonight coming into this game, I'm super excited now. Really, this Badger team is just proving us wrong time and time again throughout this season, especially this past 7 games. But really, I think all of us at some point tonight had a huge smile on our faces. Probably for the majority of the night, we had a smile on our faces. But this Badger team has just gotten better week by week, especially in the past couple of weeks. They've gotten significantly better as the opposition has gotten better as well. And to come out tonight and play the way that they did, man, that's exciting stuff. And now going to next week, going to Stuttgart, probably getting to meet Jerry Jones and having him on with us, just all these different things going on for the Badgers. But most importantly, the game next week, it's exciting. It's exciting stuff, and I'm sure we're all really looking forward to next week's game.
All right, Caleb, wrap it up for us.
Driving down here tonight, the entire drive, I was thinking this is going to be a long drive back if we lose. I'm not looking forward to it. 2 hours back to Arkadelphia in the woods, dodging deer on the road, Highway 8, but it's going to be a fun drive back now, Jack. It's going to be fun coming back. We were sitting here in the press box before the game, and the guy that was doing color commentary for Warren was sitting right next to us, and I heard him. They asked him what his prediction was, and he said, I predict it's going to be 41-17 Arkadelphia. And I looked at him, and I said, I just looked at him, and I said, you are crazy, man. And he walks out. He walks out after the game. He tapped me on the shoulder and said, oh, was I crazy after all? So Arkadelphia is a good team, but I don't know how excited we can get. These Warren fans might have expected something like that. This team might not be quite as good as we expected, so Arkadelphia needs to come out, practice hard this week, and get ready to play a good Stuttgart team next week.
Stuttgart is a good team. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to be there. Arkadelphia and Stuttgart next week, the day after Thanksgiving. Arkadelphia going to try to eat some turkey over in Stuttgart, Arkansas. So we're going to wrap it up for tonight. I want to say thank you to Chris Babb for his great work on the live stream, as always, and commentary. The nice interview that we had with him at halftime. Wait, I'm also going to say thank you to Deborah Root on statistics, and Katie on our video live stream. Thank you so much, Katie Hatchett, on the video live stream. Caleb Bird, my longtime partner, along with Jack Bennington. Say thank you to all you guys. Final score one more time from Warren. Let's just say it one more time. Final score, Arkadelphia 41, Warren 14. That's the final score. Next week, the playoffs continue, and Arkadelphia will be right there. We'll be there also. Hope you will be too also. So that's it for tonight. Good night, everybody, and Abby Daddy's on his way home.
Those teams are not that bad.
Yeah.